I now want to stop recording. Hello, everyone.
What up?
Britton
What up?
here. Welcome back to Britton's Hangout Hour episode 120. I'm here today with Zachary Shaye, or Shaye, Zach. What do you?
Yeah, Shay's fine. That's usually what I go by.
Okay, it's weird. It's like, have you ever watched Reacher?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I was about to say everyone calls him Reacher in that show. So you're like Reacher. Just everyone calls you your last name.
Well, the Shay's not my last name; it's my middle name. But like the Foster family that kind of took me in, they had another Zach, so I was like
Oh,
Shay for the longest time.
oh.
So,
Well, I am a dummy. I'm so sorry. I should just
oh no, you're
stop this
good. You're
right now.
good. No, no, no. But it's my middle name. I don't know if I'm gonna put my like last name out on the internet. I'm pretty sure it'd
Okay.
be easy to find, but I don't know. Like, I saw like Murphy and Napier and like all of them. They're like, "Yeah, you don't know my real last name," and I was like, "Why do they do that?" I'm sure there must be a reason when you
Um,
reach like that level.
Napier isn't her last name.
I'm pretty sure she said that or no, it was Elliot Brooks. That was like Brooks is not her real
Oh, I'm like,
name.
oh, okay, that's weird. But
Yeah,
glad to have you here today. I found your
appreciate it,
channel.
man. Glad to hear.
I found your channel recently. I think it was Alex who pointed you out, and I'm like, oh, so this guy talks about books and comics. I gotta give this guy a
Yeah,
shot. So because we need to lead the charge to get more booktubers to read American comics.
right. I feel like there's been a push lately for manga, but like everyone just forgot about American comics.
I know. I have read no disrespect to manga. I've read some good manga. I've read Monster, and Berserk. Yeah, I've read. It's
Berserk
funny.
solid.
Before I got here, I was watching a stream with some friends of mine, and they were talking about Berserk because I'm gonna be reading Berserk with them. Well, I'm reading the Conviction arc right now. I started binging
Okay.
it, and then I quit because college started, and you know how that goes. It sucks up a lot of your time, and yeah, just not had a lot of time to sit down and. You have to be in a particular mood to get into Berserk.
Yeah, it can definitely. What's your major, by the way?
Oh, it's called professional media, but it's basically journalism. So yeah,
Okay, right on, right on. Cool, cool, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
My story this week was Daredevil. I'm calling Daredevil. No one else takes it. It's mine. Like I'm taking it.
Claimed.
And my
Right on.
editor was
Have you
like,
read
"Go nuts."
have you read the Ann Nesenti run? I'm pretty sure she was a journalist before she started at
I have
Marvel.
not, but I've heard her run is actually pretty good. Like I've read a lot of the major ones. I've read. Well, I'm not. Ironically, I haven't read Miller's actual run. I've read everything else aside from it, like The Man Without Fear, Born Again. I got right here, which I'm hoping to review on the channel soon. Um.
They're better than the original run. In my opinion, I
Oh,
think Born
really?
Again
Okay.
and Man Without Fear are
I
the
was
best
skimming.
two so far.
Is that the first volume? Because I was actually skimming through that at a local comic shop the other day, and I was kind of like, huh. Miller
Oh,
drew a lot of
this
this. Yeah, that. Yeah, that one you have right behind you.
So this is like the companion to the so they collect like Frank Miller's and the omnibus, which has his original run with like uh Klaus Janson
Mm-hmm.
doing like the colors and stuff, and then they have like this which collects Man Without Fear, and it's like the companion omnibus. So it's
Oh.
Man Without Fear and Born Again.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so lost now. I didn't know they had that, but okay, fine. It looked like that. It probably wasn't that, but it looked like that. I was skimming through. I'm like, he mostly illustrated a lot of this.
Yeah.
Come on, I want to get to the juice. I want to see what the Frank Miller. Everyone's like, I mean, he does write a very good Daredevil. I mean, Born Again is really good. I
Yeah.
prefer. I mean, I don't know if you've read Batman Year One, but um,
No, Batman Year One is solid.
Batman Year One is great. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, no, but
I actually haven't read a ton of Batman, but I really did enjoy Year One.
Um, yeah, but yeah, Frank Miller did Daredevil. I haven't read the actual run though. I've heard it's
Hmm.
seminal. Though again, I was skimming through this first one. I'm like, he illustrated a lot of this. This is BS. Like, get out of here. Like, I want to see Frank Miller writing it because he's also an
No,
illustrator.
dude. I like in the omnibus, the first 10 issues are not written by Miller, and you can tell, dude. Like, there's a point where like Daredevil hits his head and he still has the mask on, and they wrap bandages like around the mask. And then Ben Urich comes into the room and he's like, I know you're Daredevil, but like none of the doctors like checked under the mask. Like they wrapped bandages around the mask.
That's weird.
It was just like one of those
So I
campy,
did look
like,
through the art and I'm like, hey, Frank Miller can actually draw when he wants to. Good work, Frank. Because generally I don't like
yeah.
Frank Miller's art style very much. Like,
Oh, really?
no.
Didn't he draw Sin City?
I'm probably gonna get assassinated. Yeah, I mean with Sin City though, it works because like that, it's about a very ugly world and an ugly place. So I'm like, okay, it works, but you know, it's like, oh god, like it's just, I like to call it a roided out Kirby, if you
Oh,
will. It's like, what if Jack Kirby came into play during like the like grim and gritty '90s? Like that's how I would describe Frank Miller's style. I'm not a fan. We'll put it that way. Now
of
when
his
he's got
art?
like David Mazzucchelli on board, oh boy, magic's gonna happen. I mean, oh my god, look at this. Look at these art panels right there. Like it's so good. No,
Yeah,
but
he killed it. I also thought John Romita Jr. was really good, but he gets shit on like a lot. Like a lot of people hate him, and I like his art sometimes. Like I've definitely had some books with John Romita Jr. that I thought were pretty good. Man Without Fear, I thought the art was great.
yeah, I was about to say it depends on where you're at. I haven't. I'll admit I haven't read like a lot of genre. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, but like the guy can do good stuff. Like Man Without Fear, I think like, oh man, like he put his all into that one.
Yeah, I think I need to read more to get what people are saying, but he does have a lot of detractors, and I'm not really sure why.
He can be kind of blocky, but I think when you get him on the right book, he generally does better with like grounded characters, like Daredevil. I've seen a couple of his art where I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good. But you know,
Yeah.
that's yeah, no.
So what are you reading like right now?
What am I reading now? Well, I'm reading Guards by Terry Pratchett, which is actually pretty good.
Oh, right
So,
on.
so yeah, I'm reading Blood Reunion, which is the third book of the Hybrid Helix by my friend Joe Byrne. So yeah, and I'm hoping to start soon Primordial by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm on board, man. Year of Lemire is going, as I've been calling it.
Lemire's phenomenal. I've read one graphic novel by him that I truly could not stand, and everything else has been like 5-star material.
What was the one you couldn't stand? I'm curious.
Well, I was like deep in the Black Hammer universe,
Oh
which I
yeah,
love. So like my expectations were really high, and then I read Trillium. I was just like Lemire book after like I read Frog Catchers, the Maze book. I was just like banger after banger after banger, and then I read Trillium, which was like this little 6-issue sci-fi series,
I haven't read
and I
Trillium.
was like, I think Jeff Lemire phoned it in on that one, but he is usually phenomenal. So I was like, what is this?
Yeah, you know, yeah, I have a few things I want to do with Jeff Lemire this year. I have a few reviews and maybe discussions because I have some friends who like, Black Hammer, and I'm really hoping to finish Descender and Gideon
Oh,
Falls this year
oh man,
because I've started them a
Descender is
couple times.
freaking masterpiece.
I mean, yeah, I like it. I have some issues with the pacing, but the art is just mwah,
Dustin Nguyen, yeah, he
mwah,
kills it.
mwah.
I will
Yeah.
say the plot wise, I found Ascender to be weaker
Mm.
than Descender,
I haven't read
but I
Ascender,
feel
so I have
like,
no context on this.
huh?
I haven't read Ascender, so I have no context on this.
Okay,
But
yeah,
I'm
it's
like
like the
halfway through
fantasy
Descender right
sequel.
now, as of
Oh, right
recording
on,
of
right
this.
on. Well, you have something to look forward to. The art's just as good. The writing is Not quite as good as Descender, in my opinion, but it's
Oh.
still good. I liked it.
I also started Little Monsters, but here's the thing that annoys me about comics, you know, and they've done this with like Tom King stuff. They've done this with I know you love Tom King, so I'm sure we'll talk about Tom King. Uh, they've done this with Rock Candy Mountain, which is a comic I really like, which was split into two. They split them into 2 volumes, even though it's a limited series. It's 12 issues. You can't do like a Watchmen. You can't just slap it into one big book. Like, there's not 2 volumes of Watchmen. Drives me crazy, but, you know.
That's what they did with Black Bolt, too. With the Solid and Opmeg Black Bolt with Kristen Ward on the art. I had to get like 2 floppy...
They did that with Mr. Miracle. They just put it into one book. I'm like, why don't you do that with all of them? Are you
Mr. Miracle, man, that's the best
are they trying
of all time.
Are they trying to milk money out of me? Probably that's what it is. But like, come on, man. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe if there's not a big enough, like,
a minor pet peeve, but one that still irritates me to no end.
Right.
They did it with his Human Target recently. I'm like, just put it in the one volume. Like, come on. Like, ugh. You kidding me?
Half a maxi series just doesn't even... Like, what am I supposed to do with
what's
this?
the point? Like, aside from me just chucking money at you to get the 2 volume.
Oh, so are you enjoying Pratchett?
I am enjoying Pratchett a lot more than I thought I would, because I had read a couple of reviews from people I like who were like, oh yeah, it's just kind of dumb fantasy jokes and whatever, and there is that, don't get me wrong. Like, he's trying too hard to be funny, which again, there's a little bit of that. But I'm like, wow. But then there was a bunch of other people I also respect who are like, oh man, Pratchett, changed my life, blew my hair back, as John Minton would say. I don't know if you watch Talking Story, but all that stuff. People telling me that Pratchett changed their lives. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to give this Pratchett guy a shot.
I don't think I've gotten to his material that's good enough to do that. But I'm a fan. I've read like 5, and I'm
reading Guards, and I'm like, wow, this is actually well written. And he's trying, and the characters are actually pretty good too, and it is pretty funny. So yeah, I'm being won over, is what I'll say for right now.
I definitely think I'm going to continue Discworld, and I am probably going to read Good Omens, maybe, because his co-author on there. All the stuff about that guy. But anyway, I definitely want to continue reading Pratchett. I try to read Discworld in publication order. Everyone says you don't have to, but I'm kind of like one of those publication order like extremists. I'm always going to wonder if I'm missing out on like, Easter eggs and stuff.
I'm the same way, but I watched a video that's like, here's where you could start with Discworld, and I'm like, okay, which one sounds the most interesting? Oh, guards. Okay, guards. You're the lucky child. You're getting read first. But then I have a friend who's like, oh, but you should read Color of Magic. And I'm like, you know what? Shut up. I'm doing Guards.
Everyone says Color of Magic is terrible. And not terrible, but like
things. I've heard people who are like, it's aight, and then there's people who are like, it's freaking bad. Like, don't read it.
I think it's aight, but if I wasn't sold on how good the rest of the series was, that would have been my first and last Discworld book. Like,
damn, it's that bad?
It wasn't like terrible. It's just like, it would have, no part of me would have been like, I wonder what happens next. I would have been like, well, that happened. And then,
which I see, but I do see why people say read Guards first, because it is I'm enjoying it a lot so far, is what I'll say.
Hell yeah.
And Hybrid Helix is a lot of fun. Have you read Invincible?
The Robert Kirkman comic?
Yeah.
Or I've watched the Amazon series, and I'm very fond of it.
Okay, I was about to say, if you like Invincible, you might give Hybrid Helix a shot, because it's similar tone. I don't know if the violence is as graphic as it is in Invincible, but it has the same kind of tone, I would say.
Hell yeah.
Also, Joe did not pay me to say that, though he did give me some free books, so that always helps. Just ask him; he'll probably get you some books,
Right on, right on.
or just get them off of Amazon, and that always works too.
That's one thing I've noticed since I've started my channel's still really small and I'm still really new. But when you start your channel, you see like how many indie authors are out there.
I know it's ridiculous. I'm just like,
Like,
dude, what?
because they will contact you and like, and I haven't gotten anybody like in a rude way, but they're just like, hey, could you read? And I'm like, oh my, there's so many of you.
I know
Like,
it's
so
always.
many.
I know I'm always awkward about it. I'm like, here, I always make the caveat. I always go, okay, you can send me your book. That's totally fine because I'm not going to say no to free books, but I won't
Right.
guarantee that I'll read it soon. I will
That's
read it,
yeah. That's
just
that's what I
at some
say.
point. That's the thing you got to know, and most of them are pretty cool with it. They're like, yeah, that's fine, just as long as you have it in your hands. I'm fine with it. I'm like, okay, if you're okay with that, send me all the books.
Yeah. And I also feel like one thing with like indie authors, I'm never gonna give like an indie author like if I read it and I think it's like a 2 star, like I don't think it's good, I'm just not gonna review it. Because if you're like indie and you're just getting your foot through the door, I'm not gonna be like, this is terrible. I'm
Yeah,
just not gonna
no,
review it.
that's the thing, right? I mean, like if I mean, I could roast Terry Goodkind because I mean the guy's laugh all
That
the way.
one, we're in
Guy's
agreement.
that guy is gonna laugh all the way to the bank. So I'll roast him all I want. But like if it's like a rinky dink, self pub, like it's like kicking a dog, like you can't you
Yeah.
can't like you just can't. Like I mean, I'm not gonna like bash. I don't bash anyone on my channel, but like I mean, I'll always try to be honest in my or I try to be as honest as I can be in my reviews, but like I'm not gonna like rip on a.
Right.
I will say though, I was reading Hybrid Helix the last night, and there wasn't a quotation mark at the end of one of the sentences. I did notice that, but they're pretty good. So there you go, Joe. I gave you your shout out for the day. Trying to get you new readers. I should get part of the cut of the money he gets from. Because I'm telling people to go read his books. No, but on the real though, yeah. What's weird about going back to Pratchett though? What's weird about Pratchett is he doesn't have chapters. And I'm usually very structured in my reading. I'm like, okay, I like to go this amount. I can read these amount of chapters, this amount of pages. Pratchett doesn't have any of that. He's like, no chapters. He has like breaks where I'm like, okay, I can stop here. But aside from that, like, he's like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Go read my books. Also, I'm dead now, so you can't go yell at me. And I'm like, you jerk.
I'm a fan of like I really love short chapters. Like I think kind of Joe Abercrombie and Michael R. Fletcher kind of like spoiled me on that, where it's like they're so short sometimes that you're like one more because they're only like 5 pages, and you're like one more, and
Yeah,
that's kind of spoiled me.
It depends for me. I mean, I remember I was reading Philip Chase's trilogy of books, the Edan trilogy.
I loved book one. I just finished that last month.
I remember texting him. I'm like, man, these chapters are freaking long. There's some of them that are kind of long. Not that I mind them; they're good, but like, damn, dude. And he's like, "Don't worry, buddy. When what's his next book gonna be? It's like while darkness gathers is what I think it's called." He's like, "There's gonna be shorter chapters in that one." I'm like, "Okay, cool," but I was like, "Damn, dude."
Well, they weren't like Malazan chapters. They weren't.
Well, no, I
long.
haven't read Malazan yet. I do have though. Hold on, I do have Gardens of the Moon right over here. So, which people are like, "Hey, Britton, when are you gonna read Malazan?" Hey, ever since I said I was gonna read Malazan this year, people have been in my streams and comments. They're like, "Hey, Britton, when are you gonna read Malazan? When are you gonna read Malazan? When are you gonna read Malazan?" And I'm just like,
I know like Reddit users, like Reddit fantasy, are always like, Malazan's the best series ever. If it's not your favorite, you don't get it, and it's like super toxic. And I'm like,
and you're stupid.
I'm like, I don't agree with what they're saying, but the sentiment behind it, yeah, Malazan's the best. Is the best.
It apparently topped Philip Chase's favorite fantasy above Lord of the Rings. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I got to see what this is about because you know, kind of how you were saying with Color of Magic, it's either people think it's like fine or it's just absolutely terrible. Like that's what it is with Malazan. Either you love it or it's the biggest piece of dumpster fire you'll ever read in your life.
Well,
Because I've seen some reviews ripping on it. Because like I've seen reviews like saying like this is the most profound thing I've ever read, and I've seen reviews that have gone, "This is absolute ass." Like I don't get it.
Nah. If you think Malazan's ass,
I mean, I don't think it's ass. I
I can
haven't
get
read it
behind people
yet,
being
but
like,
I've heard it.
it
People
wasn't
say
for
that.
me. But if you walk away from Malazan, you're like, this wasn't good. This wasn't a good book. I'm gonna be giving you mega side eye because that's. I have a Malazan tattoo. Like I have a
Yeah,
tattoo of one
I
of the
see
Britton
you're
brothers.
very tatted. I respect the grind. I mean, I only have one. I have a Batman tattoo on my leg, but then like I've thought about getting more, but I'm like, God, what do I want to put on my body permanently? That's like
See, I go
what I
through
want
my
to put.
list of favorite series and favorite comics, and I'm like, which one would look cool? And
I'm
I'm just,
like that's the thing though. I'm like, should I do Daredevil next? Oh, should I do Spider-Man? I don't know, or you know something like that. I don't know. That's the thing, but yeah, no, that's the thing. I appreciate the grind though. Just a
yeah.
lot of time and hours, I imagine.
Yeah. When I feel like out in the world, there's so many people that like when they see you're heavily tatted, they kind of just like assume you're not
They
intelligent.
think you're like
I
shady
know
as
it sounds
hell or
crazy, but
something.
that happens like a lot. And when I saw Jake from Nerd Level Rising having his own BookTube channel and like people taking him seriously, I'm like, okay, there's a space on BookTube
Yeah,
for
I
heavily
was like, so
tatted.
they either think like you're shady or you're like fucking weird. Yeah.
Yeah. No, post me. I've had people like offer me like pills before, and I'm like, what about me makes you think I would? Just like random people, like, hey man, you want? And I'm like, no, I'm all right.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know if I'd go full Post Malone and just get tattoos freaking everywhere, but I would like to get more in the future. Much to my parents' chagrin, they were just kind of like, "Why do you want a tattoo?" And I'm like, it's something on the bucket list. All right, it's something on the bucket list." And yeah, funny story how I actually got the tattoo I got now. I was friends with this lady at my college. I won't name her for privacy reasons, of course, but
Mm.
we would we sat near each other in class, and we were just kind of we became friends, and we were just kind of talking. And one day, I just kind of was speaking out loud. I'm like, man, I would love a Batman tattoo at some point. And her husband, her now husband, they got married. Or wait, no, they were married when I knew her. Never mind.
Oh,
Anyway, so yeah, they're married. So she's married to a tattoo artist. And she brings in his card the next day or a few days later, and she's like, "Hey, he'll do a tattoo for you for free." And I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." And I thought about how I was gonna do it, and I'm like, "Okay, so should I just do it without telling my parents, or should I tell my parents?" I chose to tell my parents because I'm like, you know what? Safer to let them know rather than have a
yeah.
whole debacle later where they're like, "Hey, Britton, what the hell is that on your leg?" It didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. Now, like, though there was like a more, it's weird because like where it was on my leg, like when it was at like the like muscly part of my leg, like it didn't hurt so much. But like when it
Is it
went,
like calf, thigh?
it's like, hold on, let me just, it's right, right there. So
Oh, like above the ankle, right
yeah,
on.
yeah, because I didn't want it like to like, I'm like, so like where do you want it? And I'm like, just like right there near my ankle is fine. And they're like, okay. I'm like, will it hurt? And he's like, not too much. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. I do
I've had
remember
some.
that day because it was the day my sports ball team lost. It was not a fun day, but I did get a tattoo out of it, so it wasn't all a loss.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. think when I got my first neck one I got was Fiddler from the Malazan series. If you read
Oh,
the books, Fiddler is a phenomenal character. I went to get the neck tattoo. I just told my dad I was getting a tattoo, and I came home, and he's like, "That one's on your neck," and I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Right on." But my mom was like, "No,
I like how chill
no."
your dad is about it.
My
Because
dad was
like,
like, "You want a pizza?" Like that was his reaction. He's like, "You
no,
want a
my
pizza?"
my like with my parents, they were just kind of like, okay, why? And I'm just like, I don't know. It's just something I wanted to do, before I leave this mortal plane. And
Yeah, before you cut your tether,
yeah, and my parents
this
were just kind
mortal
of like,
coil.
because I hate to say this because they're probably gonna hear me and going like, are you talking shit about me? Because my parents are weird. I'll just say this: my parents are kind of weird. Like, how do I describe it? Like, they'll just let me do things, like with like an asterisk. Like generally they'll like leave me alone, but like they're also like weirdly like, okay, don't do that. But like when it came to like my tattoo, they were far more chill about it than I thought they would be. 'Cause I thought my parents would be like, no, this is shady as hell. You're gonna get
Yeah.
scammed and like possibly get like your kidney taken out or something. My dad's very dramatic.
Well,
But
I mean,
but
you got the
it,
Batman symbol. You didn't get thug life on your
oh
forehead.
god,
Like
no, I didn't do that.
they're probably just grateful that you
But
were getting.
I think it was once I told them I wanted to get the Batman symbol on my leg. They were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, go nuts." But my dad was kind of like, "Okay, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." He's like, "Are you pretty sure? Are you very sure?" I'm like, "Damn it, don't talk me out of this. Don't talk me out of this,
Yeah,
old man." He's probably gonna be like,
you're
"What
getting a
are you
good
talking about?"
deal.
But no, I think it was the Batman tattoo that sold them. They're like, "Oh, it's Batman. Oh, okay, then yeah, go nuts, buddy."
Hell yeah. I have so many that I get from like books, but I have like a really big like rib one,
Oh
and it said
God.
The Gentleman Bastards. Have you
Mm.
read Gentleman Bastards?
I have, yeah, all three books. Talk about long chapters. Holy shit, dude.
That series is fire.
But
That
it's
shit's
it's it's well,
fire.
it's worth it. But like, my God, those chapters are freaking long.
Best trilogy ever. I won't call it anything else because it's a trilogy. No, I'm kidding.
No,
Maybe Scott Lynch will come out with a
I was
book
kind of
four,
I
but
was kind of bummed by Republic of Thieves, but those first two books though,
yeah,
mwah,
I liked
mwah,
Republic of
mwah,
Thieves. I
mwah.
just
Yeah.
I went into it knowing I was like, okay, so he'll probably never write a book four. Maybe potentially we could have another Rothfuss Martin on our hands. But each of these books feels pretty self-contained. So I went into Republic of Thieves going, it's not that big a deal. I'll just know this is the last one. And Republic of Thieves ended on a pretty big cliffhanger, more than the first book. And I was like, man. But Scott Lynch says he should be coming out with something soon. So we'll see.
Yes, I have seen him starting to kind of make his return, but
I have a little hope in him. Patrick Rothfuss, it's gone. Trust is gone. It's over.
no, but
It's over.
yeah, I remember reading Lies of Lachlan Mora. It was 2023, so it was my first like official year on BookTube. And I'm like, okay, I know Murphy Napier loves this series and a lot of people love it. And um once I saw the friendship between Locke and John, I was like, I'm sold. And
Phenomenal.
then the revenge plot was so good. Like, it is up there with like John Wick shooting Theon in the face. Just levels of yes, take his fingers off. Kind of spoilery, but I was just like, I want to punch something.
If you read that book and you get to that like section with Falconer and you don't like,
You don't
I
audibly
audibly said,
celebrate.
"Get fucked." Like I was reading it, I was like, "Get fucked." Like
I actually read later I actually read a comment later where someone was like, oh man, Lynch was trying to like, apparently from an interview, he was trying to talk about how like, oh man, look at Locke and John. They're cool guys, but man, they can really get dark sometimes. But I'm like, dude, the Falconer is such a loathsome character. Like, I
and
want
I
him to
I don't
get.
know, when I read
I was
Gentlemen
like, get
Bastards, I'd already
fucked,
read
bro.
like the first law and stuff. So when people are like, "Oh, these are morally great characters," and I'm like, "I love these characters. They're awesome." they're not like, at no point in Liza Lamora was I like, should I be rooting for these guys? When I'm reading Joe Abercrombie, I'm like, man, these are all pieces of shit. Like they're like
But they
actually
try
grim
though.
dark,
They
like
try
great
to do
characters.
the right thing, but they just can't for whatever reasons.
So
Oh.
comparing that to that, I'm like, man, y'all act like Locke and John are terrible. They're fine. They're fine. They may not be lawful, but they're not bad.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I'm like, well, they're technically outlaws, but like they're probably like most upstanding guys in those books.
No, the point where they wouldn't even kill the thief because they were like, oh yeah, he's one of our brothers, because like their god is the god of thieves, so they
Yeah,
spared that. I'm like, man, a Joe Abercrombie character would have killed
yeah, he would
killed
have.
that dude
Yeah,
immediately.
Like Logan Nine Fingers would have smoked him. Like, but I'm like, yeah, no. I know you like Michael R. Fletcher a lot too, which I've only read one of his books, and that's Beyond Redemption, which I remember really liking and thinking like, man, this is one of the most visceral fantasy novels I've ever read in my life. Because
He writes some nasty books, and he
like there's a
writes a lot of like.
sequence, in Beyond Redemption. You might know what I'm talking about, but there's this guy they like who his because the whole concept for those who don't know is the crazier you are, the more powerful you are. Is like that's how the magic system works. Is based on mental illness. So basically, the crazier you are, the more powerful you are. But at the same time, you can get so crazy that the magic will overtake you at some point, which is what happens to
Right.
one of the characters in the story. But there's one of them who's like this really fat, disgusting. I can't remember his name, but he's like this really fat and
The
disgusting.
slaver?
The slaver, yeah. He's just
Yeah.
this disgusting, odious being
Like imagine the
who
Harkonnen, like the Harkonnen
basically
Baron
he's
from
basically if
Dune.
Harkonnen and the Purple Man from Jessica Jones had a baby, because
Yeah.
he's basically like the Purple Man from Jessica Jones. Who's like, hey, come hang out with me, and he'll just do it.
David Tennant killed that role,
Oh
by the
yeah,
way.
he
I know
did.
Jessica Jones really went off the rails after season 1, but
Oh my god,
David
yeah.
Tennant killed
No, but I'm getting off the point. So yeah,
it.
he ends up, and there's also this lady who can like catch things on fire, and she's also really like grotesque and disgusting. But he ends up having like this disgusting, vulgar, like shit and piss orgy. And I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking
I love it.
disgusting. And then there's
I love it.
and then
It
it
only
goes
gets more vile.
oh no, oh no. Then it gets worse. Cause there's a lady who just fucking like jerks him off and then fucking licks her fingers of his like I'm just like, oh my god, I gotta put this down. I'm putting this down. I am making a drink. That is the most vile and disgusting thing I've read in the past.
I'm pretty
Like
sure book 1,
3
that wasn't even
years.
the part that got me like my
I mean,
moment
I am
was
not a
whenever
prude, but that just the details and the disgustingness of the whole thing is just.
did you in the book 1 did they have where the same like fire girl, she like has sex with this mirror mancer type chick, and there's like shards of glass being
Oh
rubbed
god. Oh
like
god. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, "Oh, that's nasty." But then like I don't know, just like the detail like the mud and they like cover themselves in shit. And I'm just like, "Oh my
and I'm
god,
guessing
this is
from the
just
way this stood out in your memory, are you like, I heard Christopher Rocchio
it's
talk about this, but
disgusting."
are you like a very image reader? Like,
Oh
are you
yeah.
playing a
Oh
movie
yeah.
in your head?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Cause like, oh my god, he like, there's people who are like, oh, this is just edge lordy. I'm like, hey, it takes a very talented writer to get a disgusted reaction out of you. So, props, bro. Like that's all I'll say. Like props, man. I did not know Canadians could get that dark and disgusting.
And the thing is, dude, like he's I've talked to him since he like saw one of my videos about him. Like he DM'd me and he's like, thank you. If you ever want to, he's like the nicest dude ever. And he just writes the most vile shit, consistently
Fucking
vile shit.
nastiest. I mean, Berserk is probably like the top tierest, like nastiest shit I've ever read, but like Beyond Redemption's up there.
One thing
I'm like, First Law doesn't have shit on this. Like,
oh no. One thing
that is
Berserk does, I
gross.
think,
Ugh.
hasn't aged well, or maybe just doesn't jive with me is the amount of sexual violence is a little
In Fletcher, or are you talking about Abercrombie?
in Berserk.
Oh, Berserk. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like the Casca scene, like that
Oh.
was like understandable for the story arc. But
Mm.
like I remember in Golden Age, minor spoilers, whenever you remember that like wolf-ish dude that was chasing them, and it
Oh.
shows like these farm girls, and he puts like her whole torso on like a spear, and
Oh.
it has like her tits out,
Oh
and is
God. Yeah, I'm remembering that now. Oh
I was
man.
like, that was not necessary. You could have shown him villainous without that level of just depravity. Kentaro Miura be weird, but he's a great writer.
Oh man. But my point being, props, man. You could say it's edgelordy, but like Jesus Christ, if you can get a disgusted reaction out of me, kudos to you, sir. I didn't give it 5 stars because I was like, I don't know, because like I'm very picky about what I give 5 stars to. So there you go. But I'm like, this
I've
kind of
noticed
feels like
that from
this, and kind of feels like that. It's basically like, I don't know if you've ever read Elric, but it's basically like, take the tone and weirdness of Elric, and like if Joe Abercrombie wrote it, but go further than even Joe Abercrombie can go, because Joe Abercrombie, I mean, I don't think he could have written the just vile disgustingness that was that orgy I just described for you guys. But oh God, I'm remembering that again. I'm just like, oh God, I need to take a shower after that. I mean, again, I am not a prude. You do whatever makes you happy, but my God, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever read in my life.
I will say, not
One
I
of them,
think
not the
Manifest
most, the most.
Illusions is probably his raunchiest series. Like the rest are equally as dark. Like, I'd say his Obsidian Path series is thematically darker, but it's not as like in your face nasty.
It's okay. Yeah, I've thought about giving his other one a shot. I can't. It's called like the Obsidian. Is that the one you were just
Yeah, the
talking about?
Obsidian Path.
The Obsidian
Mhm.
Path. I'm thinking about reading that one, but I'm like, oh God, I have so many books of fantasy I need to read, and I just read that because I'm
What
like,
series? Oh, sorry.
well, I read Beyond Redemption because the concept sounded really cool. I'm a big concept
Mhm.
guy, and also the art from. Hold on, let me see if I still have it here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. The cover art of the first book is just absolutely amazing, done by Richard Anderson, of course. So I mean, that's a given. But yeah, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I mean, can't go too badly, right? And I read it, I'm like, whoa. I mean, I've read my fair share of gritty fantasy, but my God, like, yeah,
Yeah.
some of the nastiest shit I've ever read in my life. Like, oh man, thanks for
Oh, dude, this is
if
random,
if
but
Michael Fletcher watches this, thanks for searing that into my memory, like sincerely, like just what dreams are you trying to give me, Michael Fletcher?
one thing that super surprised me, is kind of off topic, but like you said, you mentioned that you read Way of Edan. I
Uh-huh.
recently read that, and just like from watching Philip Chase's videos, I'm not saying he was like grim dark, but it was like prologue, priests are flinging shit in the church. I just wasn't expecting that from Philip Chase, like just from his
Oh
demeanor.
yeah, I remember when I first read it, and I'm like, holy shit, they're getting burned alive.
I know. I
I
was like,
texted him. I'm like,
I don't know.
I
And
texted
the
it, which
cover's
is
so
not a spoiler.
classical.
That happens in the first like couple pages. So I mean, if you
Yeah.
think that's a spoiler, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah. So I read that. I'm like, damn, Philip, that was dark. He's like, hey, they sacrificed themselves for their cause. I'm like, yeah, but like, damn, bro, like I didn't know you had that in you. Like, burning alive is not a fun way to go. Like, just saying.
And then it was like, oh, now we get our young protagonist. JK, that kid got torn alive,
Yeah.
torn asunder. Now we get our adolescent protagonist.
Named Day Raven, who's like the most
I was like,
wholesome, like lovable dude like you'll ever meet in your life. Like like you're almost annoyed by how much of a nice dude he is. I hate to say it, but like you're just like, oh
I think
man.
my favorite character. Well, I'm only one book deep. I started Prophet, and I just was reading other stuff. I want to come back to it like later this month. But I think Imhar was probably my favorite, or Imar, whatever. I think his best friend, the one who was
Oh
like
yeah,
basically
Imhar. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's good. He's a good guy. It's like I know him
probably my favorite
personally. I don't. He's a
character in the
fictional
series.
character. I was weird. I really liked Bledla a lot. I mean, I thought he was a really, I don't know. I don't know
Oh
what's wrong with me for saying that Bledla's my favorite character, but I thought he was
no,
interesting.
he's solid. Because at first you think he's just like this mega manipulator, but then at the scene where you see
You
him
just
like,
think he's like this deranged zealot, which okay, he is, but you also think
yeah,
like, oh, is he just like in it just to like have power over people until you realize like, oh no, this guy's a true believer. This dude will
yeah, he's
like
sipping his own sauce. Like he believes that shit.
sipping his own sauce. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
he.
that.
I mean, he walks the talk he's talking.
I mean, yeah. I
So
mean, I also, again, I don't know why I like the villains in this series, but like, I kind of like Erikenwald as well. He's just the most like
vile.
card carrying, megalomaniacal, vile person. And what's even more fun is he just gets worse as the series goes on. So yeah. So if you liked him in his vile smugness, he'll get even worse. Like you're just like, damn.
Yeah,
But like at first, I'm
kind
like,
of
I
like
kind of respect how honest he is about how vile he is. But then you get into the second book, you're like, oh, this dude's a psychotic murderer. Like, oh dear. But well, I should say psychopath. But anyway, he's already a murderer in the series. But I digress. Yeah, I'm liking Way of Edan. The whole Dan trilogy is very good. So I won't rush you to read the rest of them, but I like them.
I'm very much a fan, and I'm probably gonna finish it like this month or next. I've just started so many like massive fantasy series that it's like I feel like if I spend too long away from each one, I'll start forgetting details. So I'm like, okay, got to go back to
Oh,
January's.
oh
Then I
Lord,
go back to
I'm kind
Edan.
of I'm kind of afraid of recommending Beyond Redemption to Philip because like, oh my god. Ugh. Ugh, man. It is so like ugh.
That series only gets worse.
Oh
Like,
god.
well, I don't know. The second book's not as crazy, but then there's like a spinoff in the same world, and it's like a love story between a rotting corpse
Oh god.
and a cannibal, and
Oh
it's like a love story.
jeez, man, what is going on down there, up there, or I should say, up there in Canada? Like, my God, man, need to. We actually follow each other on Instagram now because I had him on Discord for a while, and then I guess he just up and left Discord. So I'm on Instagram. He's on Instagram now. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the show and ask him, Fletcher, what are they cooking over there in Canada? Because like, my God, man, you just fucking. It's the most disgusting shit I've ever read in my life. Some of it, one of. I don't know if he can beat Berserk, but in,
I don't know.
terms of
I'd
just
say
sheer
Fletcher's
emotional trauma. But like, oh my god, like that was disgusting. Oh,
cool dude.
oh man,
Yeah.
it was just like, oh man, it's oh,
Not all his series are like that, but none of them are
I
going to be like not grimdark. Like they're all going to be nasty and vile, just not that vile.
I mean, I don't know if anything can top like shit and mud and like this disgusting guy having a freaking orgy, and he's like, more, yeah. Like I don't think he can top that unless he does. Then in that case, God help us all. If he
There's
manages,
one scene I have in mind where I think if he doesn't top it, he at least meets it.
oh man, oh good lord, yeah, that was a book. That was an interesting read. Ugh.
I
So
can kind of see why he wasn't, because I think he had a publisher with Beyond Redemption and it didn't sell well enough, so then he had to indie publish the rest.
mm-hmm.
I can see, even though he's a phenomenal writer. Why it may not have worked for broad audiences.
Yeah, they're like, what? Yo, imagine like picking this up at your local bookshop and you start reading it and you're like, oh yeah, this is fun. And then you get to that scene, you're like, Jesus, man. Or the scene with the fire lady in that mirror scene, you're like, what is that?
If I ran like a Barnes and Noble, I would be like for fans of ACOTAR, and I'd put like Michael R. Fletcher just to horrify the romantasy fans.
Oh man. So who are
You love
some?
Fourth Wing? Try Beyond Redemption.
Oh man. Oh yeah, there's a wholesome romance in there between a lady who can burn people alive and
And
a
enjoys
guy
it.
who manipulates mirrors. It's very heartwarming stuff. No, it's not. No, but yeah, beyond, but yeah, no, Michael R. Fletcher. That man has a very, very demented imagination, and I say that with respect, because I don't know if I could go that far as a creative. Oh my god, I thought I was dark. This is disgusting. Yeah. No, but what other authors do you like? I mean, you know, aside from Steven Erikson, because I've seen a couple of your Malazan videos.
Oh, right on. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was about to ask you the same,
Oh.
but I guess
No.
just to answer really quickly, I really love Robin Hobb. She's up there.
Oh god, I need to read her so bad too. Like it's like
Everyone loves her.
I know.
Like,
I know. Like the only person I know who doesn't like her work still respects it. So I haven't read anyone who actively. Well, actually, that's a lie. I have met a couple people who didn't like Vera from Vera's channel. Didn't care for it, and Tori didn't care for Ships of Magic. But most people I've met like it. Even the people I met who were like about it were like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, it's good. It kind of keeps going, and then he like hits you with a really emotional ending. You're like, damn, I need to see more of this. And then
yeah,
repeat.
dude, and even
I'm like,
people who
okay.
have like an aversion to like nautical fantasy, which used to be me, end up liking Live Ship a lot. So she's doing something right.
Oh well, yeah, no, it's I haven't read Robin Hobb yet, which is very unfortunate because I'm like I haven't read Steven Erikson, haven't read Robin Hobb, haven't read John Gwynn, like I haven't read a lot of like sexy, you know.
So I haven't read John Gwynn either, and I
Oh,
think we're probably
okay.
the only ones who have. Well,
We
I
can.
started him, and then I was like moving, and I left the book somewhere, so I was like, it's been too long. Like I'm gonna have to reread it, but I hate rereading sections to get to the new stuff. So I need to read Malice. I need to get into
Yeah, I
Malice,
was
but
going to read Malice last year as part of the show I was doing on my channel where I basically was like, hey, audience, how about you pick a book for me to read each month and I'm going to read it or I'm going to read a part of it. I'm going to see if it's well worth keeping up with it. And if I don't like it, I'll put it away. That was a terrible idea. And I was going to read Malice, but I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Sorry, guys. By the way, I need to get one of the prizes. It's been a year now. It's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah. So I almost read Malice, but I didn't get around to it because
same.
I was too busy. And also, I'm like,
What are some of your favorite authors?
some of my favorite authors. Well, I'm a big Alan Moore fan.
Oh,
I know you mentioned Swamp Thing the other day, and I'm like, this man knows what I'm.
I have Illuminations I'm reading right now.
Oh, very cool. I actually have his new book. I actually have that, and I also have his new book, The Great Win, which I'm hoping to get to sometime this year. Oh, yes, there it is. Glorious.
Yeah, I just made a video about Alan Moore before we got on. I was
Oh
like,
my god.
because I'm a very introverted person, so for me to like sit in front of the camera and talk, I have to like gear myself up. And I'm like, well, I'm already getting ready to do that for the chat. I'm just gonna review some Alan Moore stuff.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm like, I saw you mention Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run the other day. I'm like, oh my, this man is great. I'm subscribed, chucking all the money at this dude. Not, I haven't
And
chucked.
I do agree with what you said. Like Constantine is a better suggestion for Dresden Files fans, but I felt like
I get why you said it because it's like that's where he first showed up was in that run.
yeah,
And,
and I feel like everyone who's reading Dresden Files is in some way aware of like Hell. Well, if not Hellblazer, the comic run, they know who John Constantine like is.
You know another pet peeve of mine. Have you seen the old Constantine movie from like 2005 that was based on
With Keanu Reeves?
with Keanu Reeves?
No, it looked
No.
corny.
Oh
My
man.
dad loves it.
Oh, I was about to say, oh, it would be perfect. It would be a perfect Hellblazer movie. But he's not British. Why did you get Keanu Reeves for Hellblazer? It's like, oh man. It's like having Captain America be played by some fucking guy from the UK. Like, sure, maybe that'd be fine.
Is
But
Keanu
he's
Reeves doing a British
American.
accent?
They don't even try with the British yet. He's not even British in the movie. And I'm like, this film is great. Like, this is a great Hellblazer adaptation. The tone is right, the atmosphere is right, like the weird shebang is right. But he's not British. And I'm just like, drives me nuts to this day. Even when I see people going like, man, they were really cooking with Constantine. I'm always tempted to go, man, I'm just like, he's not British, so it's just it drives me nuts to this day. But yeah, no, Hellblazer is fun. I like Jung. But yeah, Swamp Thing is where he first appeared. And yeah, good times.
Alan Moore's Swamp Thing is an absolute. I think it's better than Watchmen.
That I've heard some people who actually prefer it to Watchmen, which I mean, I only read it a few years ago, and I mean, I love it so much. Actually, I got one of the issues framed, which is issue 32, Pog, which is one of my favorite like single issues from that run. I found it at my local comic shop. I'm like, I'm buying this instantly, and I framed
Is
the
Pog
damn
the one
thing.
where the little aliens come down?
Yep.
Yeah, I
It's
thought
like,
that's what. And it's all like in their alien
yep,
language.
and it's like one of the most unexpectedly moving things I have ever read in a comic book. I'm just, or anywhere. I'm just like, this is the fucking saddest thing I have ever read in my life. Like, damn, dude. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Alan
And
Moore is just. Have you read Miracle Man?
I have, yeah. That's funny you mentioned that because I was actually looking through that the other day, and I'm like, so good. And I'm like,
Oh,
man,
I'm so pissed because Neil Gaiman came back to do like a
that
three.
series is cursed. Is all I gotta say because it's like it was a pain in
Dude,
the ass. It's a pain in the ass for Alan. It was a pain in the ass for Alan Moore to write all of it because like Warrior folded, then he took it to Eclipse, managed to finish it, but that also folded. Then he gave it to Neil Gaiman, who wrote some stuff. Which some of his art, like I've only read the Golden Age arc, which was actually pretty good. Not to be confused
yeah.
with the Berserk arc, Golden Age, which was actually pretty solid. Then they finally put out Silver Age, and then
Silver Age was great.
and then our boy Neil Gaiman is a fucking sex pervert, and now has
Mega.
been blackballed from the industry. So I'm like, fuck
Mega.
you,
Like when
Fate.
stuff first started
You
coming out, I was
suck.
talking to my girlfriend about it, and I was like, "This does not look good." And then she read me like one like I'm not even going to say it on here, but it was just a vile description of what he did. And my girlfriend read it to me, and we both love Neil Gaiman. That's like the only author we both like. And we were like, well,
Oh
I guess.
man, imagine how hard it was. Like American Gods is my favorite like fantasy novel of all time. Like
That
dead
was the
ass.
only author I could convince my girlfriend to read, because my girlfriend's big into Akatar and has been. Like, she's, well, not big, but she hasn't been into like
That's
adult
an interesting
fantasy.
jump from Akatar to Neil Gaiman. Like that's such a shift.
Well, I was like, the Fae stuff, like try Stardust. Like, I was just really reaching with it. I was like, come on, here's the Neil Gaiman. And then like a year later, Neil Gaiman's like an actual vile human being. Um,
Yeah, he
but
was really exercising some demons with Calliope or whatever that's called from the Sandman.
I haven't
Jesus
read Sandman.
Christ.
I, I was about to when this happened, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, I'm too emotionally like sad right now to read like Neil Gaiman, so I'm gonna put you to the side
yeah.
right now. But I'll get back to you one
I
day.
don't judge anyone who like can completely disassociate artists from the art, But if I really like the artist as a person, I'm more inclined to like their art. Like, I'm not saying I'll like it just because they wrote it, but if I know the guy and he's a good dude, I'm like more excited to read it. If I know you're a piece of shit, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah,
Like,
I made a video about that. I'm just like, that's my word on the subject. I don't want to talk about it anymore, but it's this kind of, oh god. But yeah, no, Miracle Man is freaking cursed, man. On the
I
real.
know when that happened, I was like, no, they have to let the artist finish it. Like, please,
Damn
because
it, could you let
I
Buckingham
pre-ordered
like
Silver
finish it
Age.
before you do the whole, he's a fucking weirdo? Damn you. Damn you.
Damn it. Maybe Alan Moore would never come back.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think
Alan
he'll ever
Moore's
write
like
another
he just
comic.
double birded the the industry like 6 years ago, and he's now.
Even in his books, like he only mentions like Promethea and From Hell and all like the DC and Marvel stuff. It's not even in his bibliography. Like he won't even list it.
Yeah, no, it's really like sad what happened with really sad what happened
Have
there.
you read his other prose stuff like Jerusalem?
I own Jerusalem. I have not dared touch it yet because I'm like, oh my god, like
Chonker.
I know. I'm like, it took him like a decade to put that thing together. I'm just like, oh my god. Like there are penises on my copy, like on the cover. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
It's
know what
thematically important, I promise.
I I
It's thematically important.
I don't know what crazy occult weirdness he's gonna throw at me. I mean, I love Alan
It's
Moore. I don't love everything he's done. Like From Hell, I was kind of like, all right. I need to
I
read it
haven't gotten
again
to
though,
From
because
Hell
I
yet
didn't
or
finish it.
Promethea.
Because like once the guy started describing like the occult history of this building, I was like, fucking hell, bro. Like, Alan, you can do better than that. Like, come on, dude. And like Lost Girls, I'm like, it's fine. Didn't really blow me away, but like most of his stuff is brilliant. I think most of the stuff I've read, I think is great.
Do you like Grant Morrison?
I do. I actually I'm hoping, like, Grant Morrison's kind of like Frank Miller. Get him a good editor to like rein him in and like not like go too far. Go full Invisibles, and you'll get some good stuff out of him. I adore All Star Superman though. Like I love All Star Superman. Like so good. I'm not even the
I hear
biggest
that.
Superman
I've
fan.
only read Doom Patrol by Grant, and that was great.
I'm hoping to actually get to that. I'm actually hoping to do like a. I'm trying not to speak too soon because we're still in early 2025. But next year, I'm thinking of just going on a bender of like Morrison stuff. So Doom Patrol, Animal Man. You know,
Did you know him and Alan Moore had like big beef?
yeah, I know that they don't like each other. I think like the idea of a feud is a bit overblown because just like from what I've heard, a lot of it just kind of boils down to they've thrown shots at each other over the internet. So, which I'm like,
Yeah, I
all
don't think
right.
it's like a thing where they like wake up and there's a picture on the wall and he's like,
And he throws
"Fuck
like
you."
and he like I don't think like they go into their offices and like conjure like bad magic for each other or anything like that. I think it's just like they don't care for each other and like okay, that's fine.
I kind of
Which I do think is
chalk it up to like
hilarious because they're both these weird British dudes who like occult stuff. The one went on one end of the spectrum, the other one went on the complete opposite end.
I I put Alan Moore. That's like Alan Moore and Tom King are my two favorite comic book writers. End all be all. Period. Jeff Lemire's up there too, though. Like I thought that was crazy when I saw you were doing the Year of Lemire
Yeah, I
because
wanted to I
I've
wanted to
been a
pay
huge Lemire
tribute
fan.
to my Canadian boy, Jeff Lemire. We don't know each other, but he did like a post on Blue Sky where I talked about reading Essex County for the first time, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, I need to read that. I hear such
Very,
amazing
it's
things
very
about
good.
Essex.
It's very good. Um, yeah, but Alan Moore is probably my, which I know is kind of, it's probably not surprising because I talk about Alan Moore an unhealthily very unhealthily on my channel and in my daily life. So yeah, I'd probably say he's my favorite. I really like Robert Kirkman as well because I love Invincible, love Walking Dead. Walking Dead was a very formative experience for young Britton.
That was
That was
one
when I
where
had
I
to
was
sneak
like,
around my parents because my parents, like, I showed my mom a volume of Walking Dead once, and she just kind of scrolled through it, and she's like, "Nope." So I had to find some creative ways around it, and ended up getting my mom into the TV show, so it worked out. It worked out.
I had to quit when they went too far off the comics. I was like, well, you're not even telling the same story anymore.
Yeah, no, it's oh god, but who else do I like? I like Brian K. Vaughan. That dude, I'm envious of that man because he has not missed. I mean,
Saga,
I haven't finished Why the Last Man yet. I finally caught up to Saga a few years ago, but Saga banger. Paper Girls haven't finished it, but banger.
banger,
Why the Last Man banger. I'm like,
banger.
how? How?
What? It got a Hulu series.
Then it got
The Runaways,
canceled.
banger.
You know, I only read the only thing from Brian K. Vaughan that I didn't care for was We Stand on Guard, which is about this war between the U.S. and Canada. I'm like, okay,
Canadian mechas.
it was that was kind of dumb. But aside from that, like Why the Last Man, banger, like Paper Girls, banger, Saga, one of my favorite comics of all time now. Like I freaking love Saga, which I know is like you're gonna probably get an eye roll from some people who like know
I
Saga.
have a Saga
But
tattoo.
Saga is so good, man.
I have a
Like
tattoo of Alana.
it is
Saga's one of my
unfair how
favorites.
good that series is. Like I'm dead ass, man. It is not even fair how good Saga is. Like I read volume 9 last year and I was like, "Oh my god, I see why so many people were pissed off after that cliffhanger cuz
Yeah.
oh, that was
Years,
brutal.
years
That
that
was
him and Fiona
brutal.
Staples took a break.
That must have been brutal cuz it was brutal when I read it. I'm like, "You bastard." Ugh.
Oh, dude, have you? I'm just gonna throw one book at you that I think you might like. Have you heard of Seven to Eternity?
Is that the Remender book?
Yeah, Rick
I
Remender.
only read the first volume of that a few years ago, and I was like, okay. But I don't know if you ever read Deadly Class, but I freaking love Deadly Class. I don't know if
I've
you've.
heard of it. I haven't read it.
Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, I read the first volume. I'm like, huh, this is weird. It's kind of like the Dark Tower a little bit.
Yeah,
That alien guy kind of looks like Gore the God Butcher. I remember that. But I haven't read all the series though. I know you like it though, which is interesting.
that's a good little like. I just think that there's not a lot of like purely fantasy comics.
Mm. Aside from like the
Like,
Sandman
yeah,
and
but I
Saga,
haven't read Sandman.
Saga
But
is. I say Saga's fantasy. I know it's like sci-fi kind of, but it's fantasy as far as I'm
yeah, like
concerned.
the Lethians are definitely like sorcerers
Uh
as
huh.
fuck. That's
But
fantasy.
straight fantasy. I don't know. I thought it was interesting when you recommended Black Hammer for Piranesi because I thought about it. I'm like, huh, yeah, that is fitting.
That took me days because I was
I
like
wouldn't have
really
thought of
trying to
that, but
find ones
yeah.
that you would have not thunk it. Like I was really looking for the ones that weren't like one to one
Uh
because I wanted people to be like, I've never heard of that. That was my main goal. But Black Hammer, I was like, yeah, they're trying to find their way off the. I mean, the beginning, like first two volumes of Black Hammer. After that, is everywhere.
It's wild. Yeah, no. I mean, I like those first two volumes are fucking great. Like just some of the best comics I've ever read. The Age of Doom is good. I do like it. But I'm like, oh, I just oh man, that mystery and that farm life. I was like, oh my god, man, like I want more
I
of
do
that.
think the payoff wasn't as good as the mystery, but I still really
I
I
didn't
like
mind
the
the
payoff.
payoff, though it does get a little too meta towards the end. I was like, okay, yeah, you can kind of tone that. You're not Grant
The
Morrison.
Colonel Weird stuff.
Yeah. But it mostly worked for me. It mostly, like, I saw there were some people who were like, "Oh, the ending kind of sucked." I didn't think it sucked, but yeah, I do agree. Like, the payoff was not as good as the mystery, because, like, oh my god, oh man, those first 2 volumes are freaking great.
And he like did that thing where like every chapter has like a little cliffhanger to it, like the sheriff going missing or whatever have you, and you're just like, oh, like I could not imagine reading that on like a month by
Oh
month.
my
Like
god, that must have been torture. Oh man, I mean, oh, oh, I love Black Hammer. So good. I need to catch up because, like, I finished the original series. Like, I've read all the original series, but, like, he's continued on. I'm like, oh man, is it gonna be the same? I don't know, but yeah, we'll see.
I've
Even
read everything but Streets of Spiral,
even
whatever his newest
Sherlock
series.
Frank. The only thing I didn't care for was the Quantum Age, because I'm like, I don't care. What is this? Like, put it down. But, like,
Yeah,
Sherlock
it kind of.
Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil, that was great. Like, I read that not expecting much. And I'm like, this was really good, guys. Like, good work, Lemire.
Have you seen
So
what
good.
is it, Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy?
I've seen it. I haven't read that, but
That
I,
one's good too.
I've heard that was like, I've heard it's like, I heard him describe it like if the Punisher had like a Robin, which I'm like, that could be fun.
It is, man. It's so refreshing talking to somebody that like knows fantasy references and comic book references because
Yeah,
it's
it's
not as
awesome. I'm like, I've
the overlap with that Venn diagram is not as big as you'd
I'm like,
think.
there's good fantasy comics. I mean, Mike likes comics, but he's one of those guys who's like, yeah, it's too political nowadays, and yeah, I'm sticking with the fantasy books. And I'm like, I always get frustrated. I'm like, bro, have you read Saga? Have you read? I think to his credit, I'll give Mike credit here. I think he loves Saga, so he does love Saga. So
I'm a big fan of Mike
we
from
need to
Mike's
get.
book reviews.
I've tried telling people to read Saga. I'm like, Tori, you will love Saga. Like, if you don't love
Yeah,
Saga, I would be just shocked if you don't love like that. We need to get
that's
more.
my go-to
We need to
like
get more
first comic
fantasy
book.
booktube to read Saga, because it'll break booktube if we get people to read Saga. Oh my
Well,
god.
I definitely like plug it as frequently as I can. Not like on my channel, but like in my personal life.
I've wanted to do a review, but I'm like, it's one of those comics that like means a lot to me, and I'm just like, good god, how am I gonna talk about it? It was like that with Sweet Tooth for so long. I'm like, god, how am I gonna approach this? Because like it means a lot to me, and same thing with like All Star Superman. I'm like, it means a lot to me. Like, I don't know, man. Like, how am I gonna
That's why I mean it's
Black
crazy to
Hammer
me
too?
that
I'm like, how am I gonna review this?
I've
Come
made
on.
like almost 50 videos now, and I haven't made one review of like I haven't done like a dedicated Malazan review, and I haven't done a dedicated Mr. Miracle because I'm like they're just so good
You
that I don't know how to like
okay,
really
don't
approach it.
assassinate me, but I actually like the Vision more than Mr. Miracle. I love Mr. Miracle is great. I love Mr. Miracle, but like, I don't know, the Vision, he was cooking on that one. Like, he was
The
cooking, so
Vision is like
cooking.
it's like number 5 from Tom King from me.
I mean,
Maybe number 4.
I haven't read Sheriff of Babylon yet, so maybe that one will jump really high on my list, um, but like Mr. Miracle is 2 for me. Like Vision though is just, oh my god, it was so
Have
good.
you read Omega Men?
No, I've not yet.
Omega Man and Sheriff of Babylon, the more distance I have from them, I'm like, it's kind of the same book. It's just one has Green Lanterns and one's
I
in
need to
Iraq.
catch up with Tom. I read his Supergirl recently, and I'm like, the art is amazing. Like, let me just hold on, let me grab it real quick. Like, please don't collapse. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. My comic collection over there. It's kind of, but like the art in it is just freaking baller. Like, let me just like look at that. Like, that is freaking gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
Like if
and the same.
If Bill Quist Evely worked 30 years ago, I'm just saying it now. Neil Gaiman would have never worked with anybody else, maybe except for like Charles Vess. I'm just saying, like,
Have
phenomenal
you
artwork.
seen the two of them are doing Helen of Windhorn,
I did see that. I'm like, okay, I'll have to try that. I
the
do.
fantasy comic miniseries with that art style, the same as
Oh
Woman
my
of
god, I'm
Tomorrow,
picking
that's
that
gonna
up day
be
one. After I read that. Now I will say I didn't love the I do thought it was I did think it was a little overwritten at parts. I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I get what he's going for. I mean, I'll probably have to do a review of it at some point, but I get what he was going for. But like, it's like, I think you could have done this better. But the art though, fucking goated. Like seriously, like that is
for
like
me. It's the Tom King though.
Bill
Tom King.
Bilquis
I know Tom King's flawed. Like I don't have
Bilquis
blinders. Like I
Evely
know.
is jumped up as like one of my favorite concurrent artists after reading that. I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. Like, man, it's she's also
But
really
the
cute
Vision's still
too,
your
so
favorite
that's a
Tom King
bonus as well.
story.
Um, he has really great collaborators though, like Mitch Gerard's freaking amazing. Like
Phenomenal.
his art in Mr. Miracle is just absolutely out. It's just stupidly amazing. He had Greg Smallwood recently, who did the Jeff Lemire Moon Knight run, which was actually pretty good. I liked it.
That's in my cart. I keep thinking to get into the Jeff Lemire Moon Knight just because it's Jeff Lemire.
It's pretty good. It's solid. I mean, it's not like Black Hammer, but like it's pretty good. Like it's pretty like B tier Lemire, I think.
I was thinking about getting into his Justice League Dark because I
Oh
saw that he
yeah,
did
that's
that.
like early Lemire, man. Like all right, yeah. I'm thinking of reading
And
like
whenever I
either.
like someone, I'm like, okay, your entire bibliography, let me see it. And then I
Yeah, I
just
mean, with Tom King, I'm like, sometimes I'm kind of mixed because like he can do brilliant stuff, like The Vision, Mr. Miracle. Um, what else has he done that I've read? Can't
Have you
think of
read
him at the
Strange
moment.
Adventures?
No, not yet. I want to. I've not grabbed that one yet. I've not read his Human Target. I do want to read his Human Target because I like Greg
Same.
Smallwood's art a lot. So, like small or let me think. Heroes in Crisis, I didn't really care for. His Batman run starts out really well, and then it just kind of dips a little bit. I haven't read his Wonder Woman. I need to
I'm
catch up.
excited to read that one. I like his
I
artist
want
for
to read
Wonder Woman.
Helen of Windham because like those two teaming up again. I want to see that sublime artwork. I want to see
Yeah,
that.
I've just seen bits and
I
pieces
want
of it, and
more.
I know that it's going to be phenomenal.
Oh, it's gonna be a banger. Like, oh man. Yeah, I mean, he seems like I'm like, for a guy who writes like these really dark, introspective stories. I don't know if you watch like Comic Pop or anything, but Sal has Tom King on a lot, and they hang out. And I'm like, he just seems like the nicest dude. Just like,
Yeah.
just the friendliest guy. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't watch for someone who's so obsessed with him. I haven't seen him in like a lot of interviews and stuff. But I'm like scared to look up Tom King stuff online because he has a lot of haters.
Yeah, no, he's one of those love him or hate him kind of authors. I mean, I don't hate him. I do think like he can overextend himself sometimes, but like he can write and he can write well. I mean, Mr. Miracle is really good. Vision, I think, is a masterpiece. Uh can't think of any. His Superman. Have you read Superman? I just recently did a review
Like
of
Superman up in the
Yeah,
sky.
Superman Up in the Sky. I just recently did a review of that. That was great. That was really good.
I haven't read it.
Oh
I
my
also haven't
god.
read All Star Superman by Grant Morrison either. I haven't read really any Superman.
Well, okay, that I mean, fine. That's fine.
I
But
don't have an aversion to the character. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
well, if you haven't read Up in the Sky, I thought it was really, really good. So
If
there you
it's
go.
Tom King, I'm gonna get to it eventually, and I do want to read Grant Morrison's Superman too.
Oh my god, it's so. I'm hopefully gonna do a review of it soon. So keep tuned, everybody. If you watch this, though it'll probably be out by the time this is up and running. um, but yeah, no, Tom King, he's good. I need to read more of his stuff, like. Because the other day I'm like, he has some interesting projects he's doing, like Human Target and Strange Adventures. But like, oh my god, again, going back to those two like because again, DC and Marvel can't help but freaking milk money as much as they can out of their books. I'm just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, can you like not put them into 2 volumes? Just put them in the one. Just put them in the one volume. Is it that you did it with Mr. Miracle? You could do it with the Human Target. Like, come on, come on, man.
Maybe they will eventually. Who knows?
Oh, I'm sure they will. Drives me absolutely insane. Like Rock Candy Mountain, they did it, and they finally put out a "We Put It Together" vision, and I'm like, again, pet peeve, drives me nuts. Drives me freaking crazy.
I recently just had to go on a hunt for none of these were collected in like deluxes, and they're all 12-issue series. But I collected the haven't read them yet. The Young Animal.
Oh yeah, I saw you
Comic.
do that. I've only read the first volume of that Gerard Way Doom Patrol, which I'm like, that's kind of fitting considering My Chemical Romance. I don't know if you've read Umbrella Academy, but if you've read Umbrella Academy, it's basically just weird X-Men. It's basically just proto Doom Patrol. So it's fitting, right? And I read the first volume. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was fun.
I'm really excited for that, and I'm excited for N.K. Jemison's Green Lantern.
Oh man, yeah, my friend, his name's Josh. He's a big Green Lantern guy. Loves it. He was like, dude, it's amazing. You got to read it. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I mean,
I've seen two trains of thought. They're either like, I love it, or they're like, oh, woke trash. And it's
Oh
like,
my
usually the
God.
people saying that, I'm like, okay, I'm not listening to you. Like,
woke trash. I fucking hate those guys.
so it's good. That's what you're telling me. The fact that you hate it tells me it's good.
Like the other day, people were like lambasting like Tom King for writing something in Wonder Woman, and I looked at the scene. I'm like, this isn't that bad. Like, she's right here. Like, I'm probably gonna get called
crazy
like
to me that
I'm probably
comics have been like
I'm probably gonna get like called like a woke kind of guy, and I'm like a shill for Tom King. Like, I'm mixed. He's the Tom King fan. Like, he's more the Tom King fan than I am. So I mean, take it up with him.
But I think it's so bizarre that like the comic book fans, the media, the format of comic books have always been like pushing diversity, but there's always a group of comic book fans that are like, ugh, woke. And it's like, have you not been paying attention to what's been going on for decades?
Yeah, right. It's like, oh man, I wonder what the X-Men were for. Just fun adventures. It's fine. I mean,
There are sometimes where I feel like Marvel is like overly pandering. And it's
sure,
like,
yeah.
But most of the time, nobody's trying to be woke. They're just telling a story.
Sure,
with
like
characters.
there was a comic that had it was called Mockingbird, I think, and there was a lady wearing a shirt called "Ask Me About My Feminist Agenda." I was like, okay, laying it on a little thick there, guys. Like, come on.
Or in like Avengers Endgame, where it like pans to all the females, and then I love when Amazon's The Boys, like they like kind of like made fun of that.
They parody
the girls
that.
get it done. That was funny.
Yeah, and they just beat the crap out of Stormfront. I'm like, this is great. This is awesome.
No, that was phenomenal. Great series. I need to catch up on that. I haven't read the comic series for The Boys because I hear it's like so over the top.
Yeah, I was about to say, I hate to say it as someone who really likes Garth Ennis's work, but I actually think the show might be better than the comic. I mean,
the bits I've seen, like,
just saying.
And this is from a Michael R. Fletcher Berserk fan. The stuff I've seen from that comic, I feel like is indulgently gratuitous.
Though I will say, Billy Butcher is great. Even people who don't like the comic are like, yo, Billy Butcher, he's awesome. Like, throw all the money in the world at Billy Butcher. I love Billy Butcher a lot.
Same. Anybody who has like no powers and is staring at Superman is like, what up, bitch? Like, has my respect.
He's like Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Do you bleed?
Oh God. Oh man. The less said about the Zack Snyder DC films, the better. But going back to Tom King though, so yeah, I saw people blasting him on Twitter the other day, as you do on Twitter, about something he did on Wonder Woman, and I read the scene, and I'm like, again, this isn't that bad, guys. Like, it's a positive message. Like, what's wrong with this? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I mean, I'm not like being woke or anything, but like some of this criticism is so ridiculous. I mean, ugh. At least I
Yeah.
think so.
I
Drives me nuts.
I usually don't pay attention to that, but it's like Far Sector was such like a niche book when it came out. I was trying to find a review like that actually talked about it, and I kept finding so many channels that are like woke LGBT garbage.
Oh
And it's like,
no, there's
gay
a
women
gay
of color
person.
exist. Like, this
Woke.
book is not inventing them, like they're real. And if you could believe someone has a lantern that gives them powers, you could believe that's like a gay black woman could get the ring. Like, what? I don't get what you're not getting.
Woke. There
Woke.
was a gay kiss. Woke. I'm just like, oh god.
They
Oh
would
my
never fit
god.
into like the BookTube community because like so many so many books. Like, I
There's
was
a
just thinking about
couple
like
people like that, but they generally keep it tame. Like they're generally more
yeah.
tame about it. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with you for right now. I don't know. Like with the boys, I'm just like, I feel like Watchmen kind of does this idea a lot better, to be honest. You know, just kind of. But it's
Fair.
fun. I enjoy the comic, but I like Garth. It takes a particular kind of animal to like a Garth Ennis comic, is what I've learned in my years as a reader of his work. You have to be in a
I have
particular
not.
mood to read his stuff.
I will say The Boys has a better adaptation than Watchmen. I was not a
Yeah,
fan of the Watchmen movie.
yeah. You know, the other day I was talking about my problems with the Watchmen movie, and I was talking about Snyder and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, not a big fan of his movies, but he did respectable with Watchmen. And then there was people who were like, most of your problems are writing related. And I'm like, yeah, but Snyder still directed it, so you know the director's the boss ultimately. But you know, I hear what you're saying.
Also, if there's a Flash scene, I understand a little bit of slow mo. But if you have a 5 hour film and like a fifth of that is slow mo, you did too much.
I will say the beginning scene is brilliant. Like that's like
Yeah.
that was great. Like just like in terms of setting up the world. Like, oh, that's great. That might be one of the best things Zack Snyder's ever done, to be honest with you. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's
When we
true.
were watching, me and my girlfriend were watching BVS and Justice League. We had like a
I
little
remember
marathon
watching
because
the
neither of
Watchmen
us.
movie with my dad a few years ago. Watching it again, I'm like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah. And she noticed one thing pointed out to me. Um, when Wonder Woman comes on scene in the Justice League movie, every single time they do the Amazonian theme. They go, like every single
Yo,
time
that
she's in
theme fucking
frame.
slaps though. For all my problems with that DC cinematic universe, like that fucking Wonder Woman theme is just.
But sometimes they would have like Aquaman would be speaking, they pan to her and go,
Oh
and then it cut
really?
to a different
Oh,
scene. I'm like, was that? She didn't even do anything. What?
no, I remember watching the Snyder cut, and I called a friend. I literally called a friend of mine because my friends were harassing me to watch it. I'm like, guys, I don't want to watch it. I'm probably not. I don't like Snyder's movies. I'm not gonna like this. Okay, like I'm just being honest with myself at this point. Like I don't want to put them. I don't want to put myself through something I know I'm not gonna take to. The first 2.5 hours of the Snyder cut, I called my friend and bitched him out for making me watch this because I'm like, none of this is necessary to the movie. Like, there is like 10 times slow mo here. Oh, you should have seen it to believe it. But it was, I mean, you know,
I think everyone when they finished that film felt like they were being released from like 20 years of prison. Like it's
I'm
I just
I'm hoping that James Gunn will get it back on track. I
oh,
actually watched Creature Commandos the either last night or the night. I think it was on Monday night. Actually, is when I watched Creature Commandos because I was like, man, I'm chucking money at HBO Max. I haven't done shit with it recently. I want to watch Creature Commandos, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Because at first I was like,
solid.
oh yeah, okay, whatever. It's James Gunn doing his thing, and then again, I don't know how he does it, but like then it gets like weirdly heartwarming and sad. You're like, dude, how do you do that? And I'll admit, I was a bit skeptical of him doing Superman because I'm like, okay, Superman, like the most wholesome, like obnoxiously nice guy, like pure all American. And James Gunn is known for like kind of edgy, irreverent kind of humor. I'm like,
That's probably why he included Guy Gardner in there,
which
so
I'm
he
like,
could get his little impulses out while still telling a Superman story.
I was kind of like, okay, like, but then I watched the trailer and I'm like, okay, I'm sold.
He gets it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it, see how it goes.
Did you see Peacemaker?
No, but I ended up learning later because I was watching Creature Commandos. The like fat, like nerd guy was walking around with a cane, and I'm like, what the fuck was he doing that? And it turns out that was because in like Peacemaker he got hurt. So I haven't watched.
Peacemaker's pretty peak. It's really good.
Oh really? I'll have to watch Peacemaker because
I
like
put it way above Creature
you
Commandos as
know
far as James Gunn.
you know this the funny. It was so funny when Peacemaker came out because I'm like I was one of those guys. I'm like, you know what I remember Peacemaker from? He inspired the comedian from Watchmen. I was that guy for a while, and yeah. Then I saw Suicide Squad. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Standard gun fare. But all right, I'll have to check out
I
Peacemaker at some
definitely think
point.
it's the best thing he's done at DC. I'd put it over Suicide Squad and I'd put it over Creature Commandos. And the thing is, like halfway through the first episode, I was like, I get it. Like he's just a douchebag. I'm not interested. And then I saw that it had like a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, okay, I'll try again. And then I finished the first episode, and then I finished the whole show in one day. It was just really, really exceptional. It was really good. I was not expecting it to.
Oh, hold on. I am texting someone. There we go. Now I've done texting. Repeat
No,
what
you're
you said
good.
again.
I was saying like whenever I first tried Peacemaker, I thought it was going to be one note, and then I saw 93 on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, okay, we're going to go back in, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's the best thing James Gunn has done for my own enjoyment, aside from like the Guardians movies. I preferred it over. I probably prefer it over the Guardians movies. It's probably my favorite James Gunn.
Really, I was about to say. I don't know, man. I got real emotional watching Volume 3 of Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy.
Teef, what was it? Teef's floor.
Bro,
Rocket
like I'm
Go
not even like
Now.
the biggest like animal rights guy, but after watching that, I'm like, I'm gonna grab all my money and just chuck it at PETA. Just chuck all of it
Oh,
at PETA.
yeah, no, that one. I think even like the most carnivorous fuck PETA kind of individual, if you have any empathy in you at all, if you look at Rocket go through
I'm
that
not like
loss
the
and you don't
hugest
feel
fan of
anything,
PETA because like I think they're like those anti-smoking ads. They just lay it on way too thick. But like, man, after watching the Guardians 3, I'm like, oh my god, I'm chucking all my money at PETA. Oh, it felt like the end of an era for MCU. Like after that, I'm like, oh my god, like this is the end of an era, guys. Like
to me, the era ended way before that, and that was just one blip of quality in the sea of
it was
I
like
don't
the
like it.
epilogue of the era, I guess. I don't know.
I'd even go as far back as Infinity War was really where I was like, okay, that was the last good one for me. I didn't think Endgame was that good.
What?
Yeah.
Bro, Endgame was so peak. Bro.
Endgame was like a B, like B
Oh my
plus maybe,
god.
but it
Oh
wasn't
my
an A.
god. Oh my god. Alright, whatever. You can be wrong.
Infinity War was like, yeah, we went there, we killed half the planet, and then Endgame's
Yeah.
like, no, we didn't really go there, but Iron Man's dead, but he's gonna come back. He's Doctor Doom, so like,
Yeah, I mean the only MCU movie I'm looking forward to is actually Fantastic Four because I'm like this actually looks good. Like it actually looked competently made. Like there was passion into it because like some of the MCU stuff I've seen recently is so like by the bones. I'm like, oh my god, dude, like
the overuse of green screen and CGI. It's like
obscene. That is obscene, bro. Like,
awful.
oh my god, the last MCU thing I really liked was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like that's how freaking bad it was.
You liked it?
I did.
I'm
Like
saying.
I did. Like, what's wrong with what? There was like they tried, man. Like, I don't know.
I was like 30 minutes from the end of that whole series, and I was like, I give up. I don't care about anything that's happening. Like, I didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought, I don't know. I think aside from, like their white boy Captain America guy, I don't think they had a good villain aside from him. And he was more of just like a conflicted fuck ass that shouldn't have been Captain America. But I didn't think they actually had like a
Fuck.
good Captain
I haven't
America.
heard that term since Donnie Darko. So, well
Yeah.
played, sir.
He
Well
was just
played.
kind of like, I just think it didn't have as strong a villain as I was hoping for. And I just
Yeah.
felt like they kept retreading the
There were
same
people who
ground
keep
with
saying the
Sam.
worst line on ever written on television was when Sam was bitching out the politicians. I'm like, did you guys not
I
get the
didn't think it was that bad.
did you guys not get the context of that scene? He's not telling them to, he's not like him standing there making a woke message. He's saying, "Hey, do better so this doesn't happen next time." I'm like, that's
One
fine.
thing I don't want to get like
So fucking
into
stupid.
politics. One thing I think is hilarious is all my friends, not all my friends, but I'm from the South, so I have like conservative friends back home.
Uh-huh.
All my conservative friends watching The Boys, and they're like, "What?" Like they didn't realize that The Boys was like on the other side of the coin. They're like, Homelander's bad? Like the disconnect where
You
I'm
didn't
like,
get that in the
how did you
first
watch two
episode?
seasons of
Like, come
this?
on. Come on,
Like,
man.
I have one conservative friend he's actually like my best friend's brother, and me and my best friend both became less conservative when we moved away from home and
So
started,
like he
work.
unironically likes Homelander.
He did to a certain point, but he's like, what? Why are they? I think it was like there was like a sign that was like "Make superheroes great again" or whatever that he finally made him like connect the dots, and I was like, yeah, 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 the bad guy. The like, have you seen that little meme
When he
where it's
isn't
like
doing
the
his
two
fucking
Nazis and they're
so
like,
when he what
we're
when
the
he
baddies?
so you didn't get the idea he was a villain when he was doing his fucking crazy eyes and saying I'm Homelander, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You didn't get that? Like that guy's brother sounds like an idiot. No offense to that guy.
Yeah.
Stupid as hell though. I'm gonna get mad now. But yeah, what were you
There's a
saying?
lot of people that stopped watching The Boys around like season 3 because they said it got too political, but it was like always political. You just weren't picking up on it. And in fact, it was like pretty like in your face about its themes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like The Boys, but I do agree Watchmen did it better.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm one of the few weird people who actually liked the HBO Watchmen show. People
Same.
people
Same.
people hated it. And I'm like, look, I'm not saying every decision they made was like peak, but like, man, there was some great stuff in there. Like Jeremy
They
Irons
cooked.
is
They cooked.
they were cooking. Yeah. Like, Hooded Justice's backstory, fantastic. I really like Jeremy Irons as
It had
Ozymandias.
great social commentary. It felt like a story. It is the closest a Watchmen sequel has felt like an integral part of a Watchmen story has ever felt. Doomsday Clock added on, but the Watchmen HBO series felt like an integral piece of Watchmen lore. Like if you were to tell me like this was the original plan, I could buy it. Like it felt like part of the story.
Well, I mean, Alan Moore didn't like it, but that's not really shocking. He doesn't really like he doesn't like a lot of adaptations of his work.
Did you know Tom King's Rorschach is in the same universe as the HBO series?
Oh, really? I didn't know. I've been so hesitant to read Rorschach because I was like, oh man, like,
Good.
mm, I'll see. But
It's good. And it does, I mean, it doesn't tie in like heavily, but in issue 1 they reference the events of the Watchmen TV show.
oh, no. But I thought it was a really interesting, like what they did with Rorschach's journal and those white supremacists taking it over. I'm like, yeah, that seems appropriate. That's what mostly offended people, which I'm like, all right, okay, like,
I really liked.
Like, if that offends you, like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, to be fair, I'm not saying that, like, Rorschach was racist, but, like, he's a fucking crazy dude. Like, yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Why
Rorschach
would it not
definitely
make
had some
sense that
opinions that.
why would it not make sense that other crazy people would find his crazy writings and do something, really bad with it? Like, that seemed logical to me, but, whatever.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it did make me uncomfortable that a hero I really enjoyed as a character has like white supremacists wearing his face. Like
Hmm.
it made like I was pissed,
I thought it
but
made
it still made sense
sense.
within the world.
It's like, yeah, because Rorschach is pretty unhinged guy. So it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense that other unhinged people would co-opt his words and use them out of context to do other really, extreme things. And it also made sense to me that, like, not everyone believed that
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias's plan. Not everyone would believe it. That because like that always bugged me about Doomsday Clock. I'm like, so you're gonna believe a crank right wing, basically Infowars before Infowars was a thing, and you're just gonna buy it? And like he didn't put down any evidence; he was just writing down his thoughts. So I thought it felt more believable that not everyone would believe that Ozymandias actually did it. I don't know. Getting too
Yeah.
getting too hard into the Watchmen lore.
No, I think you're right. I'd agree. But I don't know. Lately, what's been happening in the States, I feel like a lot of people will believe a crazy right wing individual.
That's you know what, that's fair. If like Trump said it, then people would probably believe a giant squid was dropped on New York. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yes. Yes. They would 100% be like, "Oh my god." Like they
They
could be
dropped
outside
a
and some.
superhero dropped a psychic squid on New York. Oh, bought it instantly. You know what? Actually, that I hate to say it, but I think you're actually right on
Like
that regard.
me being from like, so I live in Texas, but I'm from Louisiana, which is even like more conservative
Oh
than
God,
Texas.
yeah.
So like people really be watching Fox News with no other information sources and they'll just believe whatever. So I think I even a year ago I would have said no giant squid in New York, like nobody's gonna buy that. But now I'd say at least half of the right like would be like, holy shit.
Or at least
Yeah,
it would
only
probably
because
be what
in New
happens
York they're
now.
a
Like
bunch of liberals. The
there would be like
squid's
the half
attacking the
who
liberals.
actually believes it, and then there's the half who's like, no, this thing really came from an actual like another dimension. It's oh my god. Yeah, no. I actually I'm on the Talking Story Discord as one of the mods, and the other day we actually finally got one of our mutual friends to read Watchmen for the first time. And she was like, "Oh man, this is great." And then she's like, "Well, then I got to like Ozymandias's big villain monologue, and it kind of lost me." I'm like, oh, "Bro, like that's like one of the best parts of the whole thing. Like when he goes, bro, I dropped it 35 minutes ago. Like spoiling the crap out of Watchmen. Go read Watchmen, by the way. But anyway, and she's like, I'm probably gonna have to read it again. I'm like, that's probably a good idea. But she enjoyed it, so that's what counts.
Gotta love Talking Story. I recently found their channel just like, I don't know, I want to say like 6 months ago, but are you going to read their Discovery book when it comes out?
Yep, they shot me a copy of it because I'm pretty good friends with them over there, and they're like, here's an e-copy, and I'm like, awesome. I prefer physical media, but you know what? I'll read it on the computer for you guys because you're my friends, and I care about you.
Right on. I'm excited. I heard the premise to it. I'm definitely going to get that. Um, and it's just cool when you see like content creators or critics create their own stuff. I just feel like I have been surprised with the level of quality that like booktubers and book reviewers I mean, it makes sense. People who like spend most of their time reading literature, fantasy literature, different genres of fiction are bound to write good shit. But I don't know. It's nice to like follow people and then realize that they're like talented at writing as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's good. I mean, I read like a page of it. I'm like, okay, it looks like they're cooking. I'm gonna have to read this. I'm gonna have to. I'll have to read it, but it looks like they're cooking. But yeah, no. But going back to Watchmen, you know what? Maybe maybe it would make sense that there would be people who believe that a giant squid got dropped on New York. I hate to admit it.
Yeah. I don't
Come
know. The things that the public are willing to buy is pretty insane. Um, with like no empirical evidence too. Like,
Well, to be fair, I mean, in Watchmen, he actually did drop a giant psychic squid, but I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. Ugh.
that was such an odd choice Zack Snyder did too, with making it like Doctor Manhattan's energy.
Like, I thought it was a good idea at first, but then I'm like, but how are you going to declare war against Doctor Manhattan? That wouldn't
Yeah, because it's
work.
like the alien threat, this ambiguous alien threat. You could convince the
Like
people that they can fight
Ozymandias, as
back against the
brilliant as he
aliens.
is, even he couldn't defeat Doctor Manhattan. Why? Why did he? I don't know. Now I'm just kind of like that was dumb. But yeah.
And then also non-comic book readers, when I'm like, you gotta watch Damon Lindelof's Watchmen on
Oh my
HBO, and they're
god.
like,
And they're
well,
just thrown off by all the squid references. And I'm like, oh my god.
and I'm like, you need to go back and watch the Zack Snyder movie, but keep in mind, it's not the blue guy; it's a fake squid that killed everyone. And then watch, like, there's no, but now there's like an animated Watchmen movie, so that's probably what I'll like plug people into, like watch that and then watch the HBO. But before, it's easy to convince someone to watch a comic book adaptation, but it's like read Alan Moore's Watchmen and then watch the show. They're like, oh, read a comic book. Nah.
But bro, it's so good. Like Alan and Dave Gibbons were cooking.
They were. They were.
And then Alan Moore got like shifted on like owning it. So he's like, fuck you, DC. I'm out of here. Like
Yeah, from what I understood, he like made it known when he started it. He's like, I want this to be like a contained story. And DC were like, yeah. And then he finished it and they're like, well, we're gonna release prequels, of course. And he's like, wait, what about and they're like, fuck your agreement. We're DC. We do what we want.
that's just a nice quote. Just fuck you. We can do what we want. We're DC. DC can do what we want. No,
Granted, I feel like they've come along. I feel like DC's more respectful to their artists and creators than Marvel.
yeah, one of the things I like about the new DC like cinematic universe is that they're actually like, going like this is what we're pulling from. Like here's the comics. You should read them, you know.
Dude, Lanterns, Tom King as the writer, and Damon Lindelof. Oh,
Oh man. I'm hoping it goes good
it's
because
Tom King. You can never miss, unless Heroes in Crisis. But everything else, even I will admit Heroes in Crisis was not it. But everything else I've read by Tom King was it.
Oh god. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm hoping Lanterns will I'm excited.
I'm pumped. That's probably like my most excited DC. Well, maybe Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, cuz
They're
that again Bilquis Evely artwork that is just freaking great. Which I mean, oh man, she's also pretty cute too. So that's also a given. So
have you this
hey
is a
hey Bilquis Evely, hit me up at some Okie Dude on Twitter.
shoot the shot. Have
I'm
you
totally kidding. Please do not do that. It's like you don't have to do that.
have you read Zoe Thorogood's comic books? I think it's Zoe Thorogood.
I have not, but I've heard of them. I need to read her at some point.
Her It's Lonely at the Center of the Universe. phenomenal stuff. That one's really good. I
Yeah,
just thought of it not to be a creeper, but you were like, she's attractive, and I was like, that one artist is attractive. And
that's
she,
fair. That's
but
fair.
she's also a really good writer and artist.
All right, I'll have to check that out then. It's
She does have in the comic book. She does like she has like a Neil Gaiman reference. Hasn't aged well. So much hasn't aged well. So many of my plugs did not age well. Anyway,
oh god, yeah, no, it's. You know what? You know what is probably going to age well? Black Hammer, recommending Black Hammer if you like Paranacy. That'll probably age well. But aside from that, oh god, no. But
that I feel like that was like probably my most out there where I almost didn't even include it. I'm like, who is gonna read Piranesi and then look at the cover of Black Hammer and be like, yep, that's gonna scratch the itch. And I'm like, you know what? If at least one
I was
person gives
initially
it a
skeptical, but I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, that works actually. I'm like, do you want a good mystery? And they go, yes. Freaking read Black Hammer then. No excuse whatsoever.
I really,
no, but
I had to work backwards from that one because I was like, usually I was like, okay, we have a fantasy book. How do I get the fit? Like, what comic book fits this book? That was more like, okay, I want to recommend Black Hammer to fantasy readers. What book fits it? And I had to work backwards from comic to book.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I've thought about doing something similar because I'm like, I have some thoughts on that subject. But yeah. Oh, yeah. You asked me earlier who some of my favorite writers are. Well, let me think. Ray Bradbury. I like Ray Bradbury a lot. Cormac McCarthy.
That's Fahrenheit 451, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've read by him.
Cormac McCarthy, who also had some weird shit going down. I'm just like, God damn it! I should just stop reading in general. I should stop consuming
McCarthy
art.
had some weird shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, you should look it up. It's fucking crazy. No, I know. No. It's fucking weird. Like, I don't know how to feel about it, but no. I'm like, he's dead though, so it's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's weird. Anyway, Charles Dickens. I like China Mieville. If you like weird, gritty stuff, I mean, Perdita Street Station's fantastic. Oh my god.
I just read the Vanity Fair article.
It is a trip. I mean, if you don't want to read it, that's fine, but like, it's a freaking trip, man. Like, I read it. It was weird.
Man, might be time to take Blood Meridian off the TBR. Like,
oh, I mean, he's dead. It'll be fine. You'll be fine.
That's how I justify H.P. Lovecraft. I'm like, he was racist, but he ain't making money off of me.
He's croaked. So it's fine. Oh, Edgar Allan Poe. You mentioned H.P. Lovecraft. I like Edgar Allan Poe a lot. His stuff's pretty fire, I think. In terms of comics, well, I mentioned Jeff Lemire. I like Jeff Lemire a lot. Scott Snyder's pretty good when he's like on form. He's pretty good.
I thought his Batman was really good, but not
Warren Ellis, even though he's also fucking creeper. Like, oh my god, I need better taste in writers, man. Because
Scott Snyder's a creeper?
No, Warren Ellis is a creeper. Scott Snyder actually seems like a cool guy, which seems like I'm really hoping this doesn't age badly.
From now on, we can only like women writers. No, because you're gonna say that and you're gonna pick one, and then all of a sudden, by some
bad miracle, it's please don't sue us. We're being facetious here. Ed Brubaker, I like him a lot. I mean, when him and Sean Phillips get together, it's like they cook. Like, most of the time, they're cooking. So there you go. I don't know if you've read Criminal or The Fade Out, but brilliant stuff.
I feel like for how much I like show it on my channel, I'm not as well read a comic book reader as I may be like perceived. Like, I'm aware of a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely not as well read as I'd like.
As long as you like get like a gist, like, okay, I've heard of this. Like, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And
I'm very much like I attach myself to certain writers, and then I like consume their bibliography. Like if it's like Brian K. Vaughan, I've read most Brian K. Vaughan. I've read a lot of Tom King. But if you just
Brian,
talk about like
I
a
was gonna
very
say
like
Neil
popular
Gaiman
run, like
again.
All Star Superman,
Fucking creeper. Like I need better fucking taste in writers I like, because like there's so many fucking.
wait, who is this?
No, Neil Gaiman is what I said.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I need fucking better taste in writers, man. Like just a couple of them have turned out to be creepers. If Alan Moore,
To be fair,
if Alan
Neil
Moore turns
Gaiman
out to
did
be a
not give
creeper,
off that energy.
I will lose the will to live. Like I'm not even fucking kidding at this point. Like if Alan Moore's a creeper, I'm just gonna go in a hole and die from despair.
I think everything weird about Alan Moore he puts on full display.
That's
So I
fair.
think we're good.
Okay. That's a good point. Yeah. Robert Kirkman, because Walking Dead and Invincible, but who else do I like? Marlon James. I mean, if you like weird, fucked up shit, read Black Leopard,
I've
Red
read.
Wolf. It's good shit.
Have you read John Crow's Devil by Marlon James?
No, but I do own it. I do want to read it at some point. But
I've read that, Book of Night Women, and Brief History of Seven Killings.
oh, so you've read all the ones. I'm gonna read Brief History this year. I'm gonna do
Brief
it.
History is solid. I think Book of Night Women is probably my favorite by him.
Okay.
It's about like
Okay. Yeah.
slave women on a plantation. It's really good. I started Black Leopard, Red Wolf. That was also one of the books. When I was living in Hawaii, I was reading that, and then I moved, and I didn't bring all
Dog,
my
you lived
books
in
with me.
Hawaii?
I've lived in Alaska, Hawaii.
Bro, were you in like the military or something? Like, how do you end up going to?
Yeah, I was in the Air Force.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
from like
All right.
18 to 22. So,
Oh, who else do I like? Damn. Can't think of anyone else at the moment. Like, oh my god. I don't know if you've read like Thor, the God Butcher, but I like Jason Aaron.
did Jason Aaron?
Yeah.
I have it on the shelf. I have not read it.
Oh my god, that's so good, so good. But anyway, yeah, that's about Dennis Lehane. He's a crime writer. I like him a lot. He's very good. So yeah, I got a very steady diet of books.
I'm definitely. I don't think I'm one note, but I'm deep in like fantasy literature. So most of my favorites: Erickson, Hobb, Janie Wirtz is phenomenal. I love her.
I know I had some FOMO when I saw people doing January earlier this year. I was like, oh man,
she's so fire. If earlier what you said about Tom King can be a little wordy, Janie can be wordy. You know, like her prose are very. You might have to like.
Okay, what I was
you will
saying about
bust out-
Supergirl earlier, he was being wordier than usual. Okay, how about that? He was being a little wordier
Yeah.
than usual. Like most of the time, I'm like, I can deal with this, but like he was a little wordier than usual with Supergirl.
I will say with her prose, it's like, was it necessary for her to phrase it that way? No, but it sounded beautiful being read aloud. She's just very into writing from like an academic viewpoint, and the way she describes, she's just awesome. I love Janie Wirtz. I know Talking Story has been covering her, and I think Nerd Level Rising too, and
Philip Chase.
yeah, Janie's just
Philip Chase. Yeah. Oh my god. No, what oh man. You ever read George R. R. Martin? You read Game of Thrones? You read First Law?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you read all the popular ones. All right. I hear you. I feel like it's not cool to like Game of Thrones. I find it's not cool to read Game of Thrones anymore. That makes me sad because it's fucking great. I wish George would fucking finish those books already, but they're great.
I think I read it when I was too young. Like I read it when I was a teenager, like young teenager, which I probably shouldn't have been reading those at that age. But I'm looking back on it and I'm like, dang, that might have been more brilliant than my young mind could appreciate. So I think I'm due for a reread. But every time I look at George R. R. Martin, I'm like, it's time for a reread. My Malazan books are like, you coward. You know what time it is. I love Malazan. Malazan's number one.
Yeah, I mean, I have fantasy I'm reading this year. Like I'm reading some pre-Tolkien fantasy, reading fucking Gormenghast, which I'm hoping to start after I finish Guards or Blood Reunion. We'll see how that goes. Reading Discworld right now, so I know I'm all over the place, man.
I'm a little wary with Gormenghast just because I know that there was a planned fourth book, but I think the wife put out like an embryonic, like unfinished version of book 4. But I know Mervyn Peake like passed away before he could put out the fourth book.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I mean, I mean, I just have it in this big copy of Omnibus. I would have just liked the 3 books, but the Omnibus will do. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of been on a slump. I've been kind of just chewing through the comic books because I'm like doing the Year of Lemire, just eating that up. About to read Primordial. I was gonna read Animal Man, but let me tell you, dude, the Amazon prices for comics, like omnibuses, even just like volumes, ridiculously high at the moment. Like I saw a volume for Old Man Logan that Lemire did. It was like $30. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I go to my local comic shop and get a better deal than that. Like, come on, Amazon, do better. You do better than this.
And the fluctuation is crazy. I was looking at like Saladin Ahmed's Miles Morales book, and it was like $83 one day, and then I looked back and it was $112.
Oh my god!
I was like, whoa. And then I waited 2 days, and then it was back at 83, and then I bought it. So I think their manipulation worked on me. I was like, oh, gotta get this before it goes back to 112. But why didn't it jump and then jump back? I think they just know, like. They're like this.
They're like, these idiots are going to pay for it no matter what price it is. So we'll just throw it out there.
We'll keep them scared that we're going to raise it again.
Yeah, like I got my, hold on, let me, like, I got Sweet Tooth in this omnibus a few years ago. And it was like $40. I got this at Barnes & Noble for $40. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a solid price, right? Like, I mean, it could have been like 30 maybe, but 40's fine. I can live with that. I tried to get his Animal Man run, and it's like almost $60 for that omnibus. I was like, oh my god. I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's an omnibus, but like, oh my god, man, like, you're just making a killing over there.
I'd be really low between omnibuses on Amazon and broken binding editions of fantasy books.
Oh my god! I haven't dared to touch broken binding because there's the only ones I'm tempted to get are the Baz Lag books from broken binding because they actually look really good. But
which ones?
Baz Lag, it's by China Mieville, so Perdido Street Station, The Scar, and Iron Council. Which, hey, if you like nautical fantasy, The Scar is excellent.
I don't know where they are, but I have Perdido Street Station, The Scar, and Iron Council.
Yeah, those are the books. Yeah.
And I just ordered The City and the City and the City.
That's probably the best. That's probably the best one to start with. The City and the City.
I haven't read China Mieville's series, but have you read this?
I have not yet. I've heard mixed things about it though. But
I have too. But it's great.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. I'll have to check.
Well, okay. I heard China Mieville fans were like, "This is not good." I'd never read China Mieville before, and this is the only thing I've read by him. I was completely blown away by the prose style. And I hear that's pretty normal for China.
Yeah, you can do that, but bro, you read like Perdido Street Station, like your brain will be boggled. Like you'll read it and you'll be like, whoa. Because the book is brilliant. Scar is also very good. I
really like this one.
I'll have to read
I read it in the day. I thought it was pretty good. It was like my second favorite book I read last year.
I'll have to read the Book of Elsewhere at some point, but I was kind of weirded out. I was like, that's an odd combination, but okay. Go nuts, China Mieville.
I think it was Keanu's idea and China wrote it.
Yeah,
nothing against Keanu. It's just I feel like the prose were too good for for a first time author.
Yeah, Keanu's just like, yeah, man, go nuts, bro. I haven't read the comics that's based on either, so there you go.
You don't need it. It's like a different take on the same story. I feel like Keanu Reeves went to China Mieville and was like, "So I want to do this Immortal Warrior doing Spec Ops," and China Mieville's like, "Yes, I'm going to deconstruct humanity." Like he was like, he gets like real cerebral with it, and I think that does like a disservice to its reception because China Mieville fans will be used to all the weirdness and they'll be like, "Oh, this isn't extreme China Mieville." But Keanu Reeves fans that are like, "Oh, an Immortal Warrior," they're like, "Whoa, this is way too fucking up in the sky."
So basically, what
it's
you're
a really
saying is,
cerebral read.
so basically, what you're saying is this book's kind of cursed.
It's yeah, it tries to be multiple things. It just happens to be multiple things that I like.
Oh,
So
well, I mean, good for you. I haven't really read it yet, and I'm biding my time. Probably gonna read The
I think
Great
that's
Wind before too long. I want to do that.
I also need to get to that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I picked it up. I'm like,
I think
all right, Alan.
you're better at like actually reviewing books than I am. I feel like you're more critical with your reviews. With me, I'm just like, I fucking loved it. It was amazing. 5 out of 5. And then the next book, I'm like, it's a 5 out of 5. And then I'm like, I'm losing integrity because people are like, you can't have so many 5 out of 5s.
I mean, unless it's Saga. If it's Saga, then like it's warranted.
Wins the Hugo Award
I
the
know.
Hugo's Comic Award every year.
Yeah, just chuck it at Saga. Just throw all the Hugos at Saga.
I mean, I do read like some. I was gonna do like the Spiffbo. You know what Spiffbo is, right? Like
Yeah.
self-published
Yeah.
fantasy blog off.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna do like review all 10 of those, and the first book I read from the finalists, I hated. I'm not gonna say which one it was, and I just stopped reading them. I'm like, I can't review this because I really did not like it. I was
No,
like,
I would just have a hard time with like being like, okay, here's these books you have to review before this amount of time. I can't do
yeah.
it. I can't do it.
They get like a pool of 30 of them, and then you got to pick one, and then you got to read
Like
9
that
other
takes a
ones.
particular kind of animal, but I am not that animal, unfortunately.
I know, like Philip Chase, he has like he has like 6 people in his crew that each read 5 books and pick one, and then he'll read those 6 and pick. That way, he doesn't have to read all 30.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I'm just like, Philip, how do you do that even with 6 books? That is ridiculous, man.
And on top of that, like writing his own book.
And reading all these other books. I'm like, oh my god, dude, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I was looking at like your channel description and stuff, and you write too, right? Correct?
Yes, I do. Very well. We'll see. I mean, there's some stuff I've done I'm proud of, but I haven't put out anything yet.
Right on,
So,
right on.
yeah. Bro, if you gushed over my book, if when I put it out, I'll be like, man, I've done my job. Shay likes it. No, but
What kind of, if you don't mind me asking, I don't know if you talk about like what kind of stuff are you like drawn to in when you're in the creative process?
you know, I like dark things. I don't know why, but you know, my family have asked me before, like, Britton, why do you write about such dark things? And I'm like, you know, I don't know. That's just what comes to me. If like nice, like fun, wholesome stuff came to my head, I'd be writing all about that. But for some reason, I'm just drawn to the dark.
You're like, I'm writing the only
stuff.
thing that's coming to me right now, and it's the stuff of nightmares.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know if it's that dark, but we're not in Berserk levels yet. But you know,
Fletcher.
God help us if I ever get like Berserk like ideas, because oh man, that would just be. But like, I like there to be like a sense of hope as well, so it's not completely bleak the whole time. Because it's like, you know, I mean, I don't mind super bleak stuff. I mean, you know, I like the First Law and Watchmen. That gets pretty bleak.
Yeah.
But like, I like when there is like some hope in there, so it's not like a complete waste of time. I don't
Fair
know.
enough. Fair enough. I'm the same. I don't like it going into like complete nihilism, and I don't know. I can deal with like an extremely gruesomely dark world if you just give me a few characters that are good. Like they can do terrible things and they can have terrible things happen to them. As long as there's some goodness in them, I just need something to attach to. And some books in the first law, I'm like, I can't defend this. I'm just like, even
Like
though the first law is not as dark as like a Fletcher book, there have
I
been a few first
appreciate
law
the
books where I'm
artistry
like,
of something like Beyond Redemption, but I don't see myself writing anything like that anytime soon.
there's a oh man, it just gets so raunchy in one of his other books. But I love Fletcher. I think he's awesome.
I don't know
But yeah, he's demented as fuck.
I don't know if I could write anything as absolutely batshit insane. I don't know if anything can get raunchier than that orgy sequence we were talking about earlier in the show.
Yeah,
Because my god,
yeah,
that was depraved. Oh man. No, but
yeah.
yeah, no, it's a good time. Not really. It's I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Um but yeah, I mean, I do like Frank Miller as well. I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites, but kind of like what I said with Morrison earlier, like get him a good editor to rein him in and he tends to do his best work, like Batman Year 1 or, his Daredevil stuff. Cuz when you let him run free, you get stuff like All-Star Batman and Robin, which I don't know if you've read it, but it's I love it despite how bad it is, but it is a very bad story.
Oh no. Wait, isn't he the? Didn't he create Damian Wayne?
No, that was Grant Morrison.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Hmm.
on a but yeah, I'm doing Jeff Lemire Bender, so I'm just gonna read a bunch of like surreal, sad stories all year.
Frogcatchers wrecked me.
Oh man,
And the Maze book's really good too. Those are both like you could read them in like you could read both of those in one sitting, and it would not be a long sitting.
yeah, it's like the same thing with like Roughneck, and like you could just sit and read it. Good winter read too. Which I did a review of that earlier. Also, Plutona fucking crushed me, man. Like talking about books, I don't know if you've read Plutona, but that one, oh my
Is that a
god,
Lemire book?
that's a Lemire book, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. It's really
Do you
sad.
like the Hellboy, like the Mike Mignola
Oh yeah,
verse?
oh yeah. I've only read the Hellboy. I haven't read anything else because like that has spawned into its own like cinematic universe thing.
Massive, massive. There's like
And I
10
have friends who are like, bro, you
BPRD
should
like
read BPRD.
omnibuses.
You should read BPRD. You should read BPRD. And I'm like, okay,
It's
good.
good.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
good.
But like, yeah, I like Hellboy. The short stories though, like that's where I think Mike really cooks.
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
Like, like he's cooking with those. Like,
I love the like folktale retellings, and I like how there is like a through line. Like it'll just be like a one-off comment. He'll be like, "Yeah, I was down in Mexico, some crazy shit," and like that's all he'll say
where he
about the
has like
last
some
short story.
luchador. Oh, love Hellboy in Mexico. That's great stuff.
That
Where he
was
becomes a luchador for a while.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
big fan
man.
of. I like how I mean there are issues where he'll get like a different artist on board, but I like how the continuity of the art. I like how that
Hmm.
universe has like a very distinct style to it.
Have you gotten to the I want to say the last arcs, but the ones when Duncan Fegredo took over,
Mm-mm.
which is like the Wild Hunt and like have you finished all of Hellboy or are you just still kind of reading through it at the moment?
I'm still reading through it and I'm going off of like the darkhorse.com
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
like the publication order. So I'm reading BPRD but before the Wild Hunt.
Oh, okay. 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 I was about to say Curious what
And I'm
you'll
gonna
think
read
when
like
he
the
gets
long.
like Duncan Fegredo on, because man, Fegredo is fantastic. So there you go.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, yeah. But Hellboy's great. I really enjoy Hellboy. Like, if you like Hellboy, I started this series last year for Halloween called The Goon. Fantastic.
I've
Freaking
heard of the
I
Goon.
enjoyed the crap out of it. Like
Is that Image?
some of the funniest
No.
stuff you will ever read in your life. It's Dark Horse, technically. It's one of those that's bounced around.
Oh, okay.
Different publishers, like
Have you heard of I haven't read this yet, but I'm very intrigued because it's one of those rare, like very much a fantasy comic book. Have you heard of Hunger in the Dusk by G. Willow Wilson?
I've heard of G. Willow Wilson. I've not heard of that series. Is it a series? Is it like a standalone?
It's like a fantasy series. It's like humans and orcs and shit, but it's a comic book. And the
Oh.
art style is really good. She's the one who did Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah. No, I know a lot of the, the people we were talking about earlier, the woke bullshit. Fucking
Yo, Miss
sucks.
Marvel. I don't know about the show. I haven't seen the TV show. The original
No,
comic
I'm
book.
not saying this. I don't know. I haven't read any of Willow Wilson's
Oh no,
stuff.
I know you're
but
not. I'm just saying, like, don't believe what they say because it is. I mean, it has a Pakistani main character, so it has a lot of Pakistani heritage. In that superhero comic, it is phenomenal. It is the best. G. Willow Wilson's Miss Marvel is the best Peter Parker comic I've read in the past decade. Like it was like the Gen Z Peter Parker,
Oh,
and
I'll
I
have to
thought
check it
it was
out
great.
because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I also know that you
I'm-
like. I also know you like Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four, which that's a great choice. I really enjoy Hickman's Fantastic Four.
I actually first omnibus, I'm like, I don't really get the hype. And then when I got to the end of that arc, like the end of Hickman's run, it was like the meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Frank has like the it's beautiful. I was like,
I get it now.
when it came together and you get like the Valeria and that's my only thing when I tell people about that run. It is a great Fantastic Four run, but it's not really about the Fantastic Four. It's really more about Franklin and Valeria Richards.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's been a while since I read Hickman's Fantastic. I have a soft spot for the Fantastic Four. It was some of the first comics I remember reading when I was a kid. So there's that. But yeah, Hickman's run's great. I enjoy it a lot.
Phenomenal. It also had some good stuff with the Thing and with Reed, but I do think, and I said in my review, I feel like Sue Storm got kind of shafted in the screen time
Yeah,
on
you
that
can
one.
tell that Jonathan Hickman really liked Reed Richards a lot.
Yeah, like Reed and his kids, which I thought Valeria was like the best character in that whole series. Like I just.
That was funny when you
I know
mentioned
it's
in your
like
review about the Council of Ricks from Rick and Morty. I'm like, well, that's where that came from.
yeah.
But sadly, there isn't any dialogue about Reed being the Reedest Reed there is. Unfortunately, no, can't say
The
that
rickest Rick of them all.
happened. It's like the Reedest Reed of them all. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've read that. And Secret Wars is freaking great. I don't know if you've read Secret Wars, but I've heard you have to like read his like Avengers run first. But I liked Secret War anyway. It doesn't matter. But yeah, his
I
Fantastic Four
hear
is
that
fun.
Secret Wars is Secret Wars where there's the Maker, which is like the ultimate version of.
Yes, he is in it. Yes.
I hear that is setting up like his whole ultimate universe that Hickman is doing right now, and
But
like the
Doom
main book
is
is
like
Ultimate
Doom's the
Spider-Man.
main villain though in that one.
Okay. Well, now I know Hickman is like main running the Ultimate Universe, and the main book is Ultimate Spider-Man that he's writing.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking that up because I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like a married with 2 kids, Peter Parker gets spider powers. That all right? Let's see how this goes.
And it's got, I forget his name. It's got the guy who did the art for Zdarsky's Daredevil.
Oh shit! Yeah, I need to catch up on Zdarsky's Daredevil. I need to catch up on a lot of comics. To be honest with you,
I want to read Zdarsky, but I feel like Bendis. I should read Bendis first, right?
It's probably a good idea because I'm totally biased because Bendis is probably my favorite Daredevil run.
So many people love Bendis.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, it is a bit wordy because it's Brian Michael Bendis. That's kind of what he does, but it's fantastic. Oh my god! Like I said it in my video I put up recently, but if they ever do Out on the Born Again show, I would die a happy man.
Your video kind of it was making me crave the Brubaker run. What, the Devil in Cell Block D?
Yeah, but I would recommend reading the Bendis run first because there's a lot more context about how he gets there.
Right, like the unveil. Well, I have the Bendis run, the Bendis and Believe. I had both omnibuses of it,
Oh,
but
okay.
finding an omnibus for Brubaker, impossible.
Yeah, I got the Ultimate Editions, and it took like a long time because, you were talking about ridiculous prices for omnibuses earlier. Like, I tried getting that third Ultimate Collection for years. It was like $90 for that. And that's like bigger than like a trade. So it was like a slightly bigger trade. I'm like, that is ridiculous. And I waited for it to go down, and I finally nabbed it. And, it was a
Buying
used
runs
copy.
is so hard, dude. Like, fantasy readers be out here like, okay, I'll try Terry Pratchett, and if I pay $8 for a book and I don't like it, it's like, do I want the Daredevil and Nascenti run? It's $90. What if I hate it? Like, I just
That's the
spent almost
struggle,
$100 on this.
That's the struggle, bro. You know what? Maybe I should get the Jeff Lemire Animal Man because I was bitching because it's only almost $60. That might be a steal if those are the regular prices
Dude,
for the omnibus.
Donny Cates's Venom was like $120.
That
I was
is
like,
insane.
man, you're really trying to bend me over, Amazon. $120.
Oh god. I mean, don't you have a girlfriend? What does she think of you just chucking all this money at comic books?
Oh, I'm chilling. I'm the financially responsible one.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. If it's you making that bank, bro, you chuck all the money in the world at whatever you want. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah, well, I was in the Air Force for a little bit, so they send me like checks, and then like when you're in school, post military, they give you money to go to school. So I'm like, this is money for comic books and Broken Binding and the stuff.
Yeah.
But even with that extra money, I do think I'm a bit indulgent in my comic spending, and that's something I need to work on eventually.
Like
Once I have them all, there will be no more spending on them.
Like, here's me whining about spending $60 on a Jeff Lemire Animal Man omnibus, and you're chucking like $120 at Donny Cates' Venom.
I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't
get it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed it. You did not do that. I've only read
the
first.
I did spend $90 on the Justice League Dark, but it's thick. It's massive.
The cat is wanting in. Where is the cat? Where is that cat? Where are you? There you are. What are you doing? Well, speaking of special editions, did you get the recent, like, what is that? Absolute Mr. Miracle? I almost said Miracle Man.
I actually didn't.
Much different. Very different book.
Yeah, I need to get... I do have it in trades, probably at my dad's house. I don't have it here. But I'll probably get like the little deluxe because Mr. Miracle is the greatest comic book to ever occur. Objectively, the greatest comic book of all time.
I'm saying nothing.
Better than the Vision in every way imaginable. No, I liked the Vision a lot. I keep wanting to call it the Visions because that's really what it is. But I liked the Vision a ton. And if you've read Brian K. Vaughan's like The Runaways, I think that's
actually my first Vaughn. It's been years since I read it for the first time, but I remember liking it. I don't remember it being as bangery as Why the Last Man and Saga and Paper Girls, but I remember liking it.
But in Visions, when the Vision's like brother Vic shows up,
yeah,
that's a Runaways character.
Oh.
But he shows up in like the second trade of it. But I think it was still a Brian K. Vaughan original character.
Huh.
But when they brought him on, I was like, I actually know who that is. And at that time, I hadn't read a lot of Marvel, but I knew Brian K. Vaughan because it was Brian K. Vaughan. And I was like, I know him.
No, oh God, I only read the first 2 trades of Donny Cates's Venom, and I'm like, man, this is probably like the best Venom thing I've ever read. I'm not even that big
I
of a
hear
Venom
that.
fan. Like, good work, Donny Cates. You actually made Eddie Brock do an interesting character.
If only the movies did that. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Less said about the
I
movies,
had an
better.
ex that was like obsessed with Venom, and she was like, when we watched it, she's like, "Wasn't it good?" I was like, "That was garbage. I'm so sorry. I could not."
That was
I
ass
saw the
cheeks.
joy in her eyes. I was like, "This is terrible."
that was a bit ass.
But I was silent for the whole movie, and she's like, "Good, huh?" And I was like, "That was terrible. I will never trust you again." No, she said it was her favorite superhero movie. I should.
Wait, also, am I getting you confused with someone else, or do you have that gigantic freaking Immortal Hulk omnibus?
Yeah, that is me. But I put my comics on a different shelf. Yeah, I have the Al Ewing Immortal Hulk.
Oh my god, that's another one I need to finish. Oh.
I liked it.
What
I
if?
don't think I liked it as much as everyone else did.
Oh, I need to finish that run. Yeah, no, I mean, like first arc, awesome. Second one,
Agreed.
typical Hulk story. Third one, Hulk's in Hell, awesome. Abomination, liked it, but I had some issues with the pacing. I need to continue on with the rest of it though. But
So everything you just described, I was on board for all of that. And then there's like a little arc after that where it gets like very like anti-corporation, which I'm always down for like anti-corporations in my comics. But immediately following like a horror arc, I was like, this feels a little fisted in there.
little
Like it
sus.
just felt like it just felt a little too like I feel like Al Ewing could have explored those themes in a different book, and it would have made the overall storyline of Immortal Hulk more cohesive.
Oh, well, maybe I'll have to get to that and see what I think, but
I hear that Tom King's actually making Wonder Woman very political, and I don't. And I'm sure he's doing amazing because he's Tom King. He cannot miss. I really,
not a hero's
I get to see.
crisis.
Okay, one time.
No, okay.
And I also see people complain that he's like a one-trick pony. All he does is make his heroes really depressed, and I'm like, yeah, and it's always great.
Well, they haven't
But he
read.
does kind
Well,
of
they
do
haven't
that every
read
time.
Superman Up in the Sky because he writes a very good Superman. So suck on that, haters.
He's one of the few to write like the big three, like all recent. Like he recently did Batman for Rebirth. He's doing Wonder Woman now. He did Superman Up in the Sky. Like guys having a legendary run, honestly.
Very good. Yeah, I'll have to check out. I need to catch up so much, man. It's like I'm trying to do the Jeff Lemire thing here, doing your Lemire
Yeah.
here. So trying to get me to
Well,
read other
catch up on Black
comics.
Hammer because that's his.
I
That's his.
will cover Black Hammer, and when I do, I'm actually hoping maybe I could do it as a conversation. I will probably think of you because it seems you also enjoy Black Hammer. So you're one of like the few people I know who like Black Hammer. You, my
There's.
friend Carlos from StoryTube, and like you, like that's it.
I know. I went into my comic book shop because the new run. It was in November that they launched it, I believe. So it's probably almost done. But it was supposed to be a 6-issue series, and it was called like Streets of Spiral. And I found a comic book shop close to my house because I'm not a big like issue buyer. I buy trades on
Yeah, I'm the
Amazon.
same way.
But I was like, it's. I want to be day one. Jeff Lemire, Streets of Spiral. I'm getting it. And I went to my comic book shop on the day it released. I was like, do y'all have Streets of Spiral? And they were like, what is that? And I was like, by Jeff Lemire. And they were like, who? And I wanted to be like, you should be fired. You don't know who Jeff Lemire is. That is vile. That's
No. Oh my gosh.
didn't know who Jeff Lemire
How do you
was.
not know who Jeff Lemire is? I get not like taken to him, but like you haven't even heard of him?
They did have some Black Hammer stuff, but not a lot. And it's just
Wow.
like
My comic shop has a pretty good Lemire stash. Like, they got all Gideon Falls, which I need to get to because I'm trying to finish that damn thing this year.
I really want to check out what one person I saw in my comic book shop. Have you heard of Ram V?
Yes, Blue and Green from Ram V is fantastic.
Blue and Green?
Yeah, Blue and Green. And I
Is
also read
that
another book called These Savage Shores, which was solid. The art is fantastic in it.
I hear Ram V's doing New Gods.
Oh, is he? I don't know about that. I know he did Swamp
DC
Thing.
just launched a New Gods #1. I think they're on like #5 now, but they're doing a New God series and it's Ram V.
All right, yeah, it should be interesting at least because he takes swings, which he's kind of
Yep.
like Tom King in that way. So I think you'll like Ram V whenever you get to him.
I just saw New Gods and I was like, Mr. Miracle's a New God. I knew nothing about the New Gods when I picked up Mr. Miracle. I was just like,
it's a deep cut. I mean, if you have to be a real hardcore like comic book guy to know what the New Gods are.
yeah. I was
Well,
like, first
unless you
issue.
know,
Well, the book told me on it.
Darkseid, because a lot of people know what Darkseid is. You know,
Right. He's had that exposure and like
he's
the
like
DC
the
animated
he's like the
universe.
go-to JLA big bad, aside from Brainiac, maybe.
Oh, dude, I recently read this is one run that's like panned. I read Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chang's Wonder Woman.
Really, I've heard good things about that one.
I've heard some terrible, and I dug it. And they have the New Gods in there. They have Orion, and they actually made me like Orion when I've always hated him.
Yeah, he's such. I mean, I'm trying
He's a
to.
douche.
We've gone on a bit, but man, Orion's such a douche in Mister Miracle. I remember just going
He's
like,
a douche in Wonder Woman, but he kind of comes around.
but I'm
But
like,
he calls Wonder Woman legs. So he's just an asshole.
you're not gonna punch him back, Scott, in Mister
She
Miracle.
does. She dogs his shit in multiple times. Well, I mean, Scott Free didn't, but Wonder Woman, he's like, nice legs, and she socks the shit out of him, and he gets up and he says it again.
Yeah, no,
But their dynamic was really good.
Oh man. Well, we've been going on for a while, and I'm probably gonna get dinner in a little bit. But Shaye, Mr. Shaye, I've had a very good time talking shop.
Same
with
here.
You.
It was my first time being on someone's channel, and I'm glad it was yours, and it was a ton of fun.
I do hope we can collaborate again at some point.
Same here.
But as I do before the end of these, if you have any social media or anything, feel free to share.
Well, I have a YouTube channel, Zachary Shaye, and I have Instagram, Shaye's Library. That's pretty much it. I don't get on Twitter. That's a scary place.
That's fair. I was looking through it today, and I'm like, why am I still on Twitter? Like, I need to get off.
Janny Wirtz, I Googled myself because I was feeling very vain one day, and Janny Wirtz shouted me out on Twitter in December, like when I first started my channel. I'm like, why didn't she leave a comment? Like, I love her, but I'm like, I never knew this. I don't get on Twitter.
Well, that's nice. I mean,
that would have really blew my mind in December. Like, I would have been like, what? But I didn't know because I don't get on X.
All right, but yeah, I've enjoyed this chat though, and hopefully next time we will.
All right, man. Take care.
I'm hoping there will be next time, but all right, hopefully everyone will enjoy this, and until next time.
Peace.